No, it's not a themed show.
Sure it is.
Why did you do that?
Someone put that in my sound machine. I didn't even ask for it.
You didn't?
No. I just it's a Thanksgiving surprise.
Somebody's very excited about Thanksgiving around here.
Sure I am. Mr. Turkey is.
It's a turkey gobble.
Yes, it is.
It's our last live show before the Thanksgiving holiday. Or as I call it, the November holiday, because I don't want to, offend anybody.
Absolutely.
We're not all... Some of us care about the way these turkeys are treated.
Sure. We sure do. Mr. Turkey cares.
Stop doing it. It's one soundbite over and over again. It's not like it's a whole bunch of turkey gobbles.
No.
We're going to have our Thanksgiving table here with the Legion of Skanks later on today.
Come.
What?
Do we have food coming in?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. We don't need food. It's the morning. Plus, it's Tuesday.
I would like a little turkey.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, you have turkey on Tuesday.
Yeah, I guess so. But then Thanksgiving is not for another couple days. We'll have it then.
Yeah, I'll have it twice.
You will?
Sure.
In 1 week?
Absolutely.
You wild man.
Why not?
You absolute wild man. Well, we'll get into the Thanksgiving festivities. It's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. You can follow us on all forms of social media at Jim and Sam Show. We just posted. It's Tuesday. So there's a podcast up, Jim Norton and Sam Roberts, on SoundCloud and iTunes. You can just search it, and you can find our podcast with Joe Buck and Billy Bob Thornton. But we were talking right before we started. How great is the Donald Trump press meeting?
Oh.
So I didn't know, and Travis didn't know either. We were talking before the show that I guess presidents, generally speaking, gather the press into a room before they take office and just kind of have a meeting with them to talk about how things are going to go, what kind of access everybody's going to get.
It's also probably just a meet and greet in a way, too.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys have now met the president. It's probably the president's way of humanizing himself, and then covering certain logistics. But it's just a way to say hello and get to know people you're going to be dealing with for 4 years.
Which, by the way, that's why you're supposed to have some form of journalistic integrity. It's not supposed to be all just sort of a biased opinion entertainment show, because you're given access like that. Like you're in a room with the president-elect because he really should get to know you. Why? Because you're supposed to be reporting, not because it's supposed to be this biased thing.
Right. And they have been so... I get why people hate Trump, but don't act like the press has been fair, because they haven't. They've been shitty.
No.
And he gave them a fucking beating.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. It was all the network heads.
Me so happy.
The network news and the cable news, like all the big CEOs and heads. And then it was also all the major anchors. So the reporters themselves that say the things were in the room with him. And I'm sure they all went in there with their egos. Like, yeah, that's Trump, but I'm fucking Wolf Blitzer or whoever it was. Just thinking like, okay, it's about time. Yeah, Trump can say what he wants on television, but he's going to have to respect us now because we're in this boardroom with him. No. No.
Yeah, I heard he singled out Jeffrey Zucker.
He did. He
from CNN.
The source.
He's the one, by the way, Jeffrey Zucker. He's the one who was working. I think he was working at Comedy Central or above them. But I think he was the one for NBC when Colin did the first Colin Quinn show pilot.
Yes.
But he was the one that ultimately said no to it.
And
it wasn't that he didn't like it. I just think he didn't feel it fit the network at the time.
I see.
That was the Monday night show, the precursor to Tough Crowd, which was live on NBC.
Right.
Zucker, I think, was the final one that said no.
Yeah, because Zucker was the head of NBC at the time, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Because he ran the Today Show. He did all that stuff, and then he went over to CNN after they booted him because the Today Show wasn't doing well, I think. And you know that Trump wanted this information to get out there.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't call in. We've never heard of this meeting.
Never.
We've never heard of the meeting before because it's always a nice meeting. You know, when you bring in a bunch of media people and you browbeat them, odds are there may be a leak in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably from his people.
Probably.
They want everyone to know he just gave them a fucking lambasting.
Kellyanne
shellacking.
Kellyanne Conway is just going to the papers. You didn't hear it from me, but the source said it was like a fucking firing squad. That's what the source said. Trump started with Jeff Zucker, and he looked at him, and he said, I hate your network. I hate your network. Everyone at CNN is a liar, and you should be ashamed.
Yeah, and you just got to sit there and take. It's almost like their worst nightmare.
Yeah.
They just have to sit there and take it.
They said the meeting was a disaster. The TV execs and anchors went in there thinking it would be a discussion to talk about the access they would get to the Trump administration, but instead they got a Trump-style dressing down. He reprimanded them like he was their father.
They really went out of their way to kind of be shitty. So it's like, well, if the guy gets elected, you can't expect him to not say something to you about it. Or they expect to be given complete immunity. Like, not for just telling the facts, but they want to cover things as badly as they want to cover them or as biased and then get immunity for it.
When you have, it's one thing, people is a different thing. Voters getting upset about the result of an election is fine. The idea that, well, you lost, get over it. Like, I understand voters getting upset about losing an election. But news anchors and reporters being visibly distraught over who won the election is like so off the charts, unacceptable.
It's unprofessional.
It's crazy.
Every Tom, Dick, and Turkey out there.
Why did you add that?
I just figured it would help.
We're not talking about Thanksgiving.
No, but it's the theme.
It's not. We can't do it for 3 hours.
Oh, yes, we can.
Everything we talk about?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
You bet we can.
But so,
Erin Burnett got mad, or one of the anchors got mad at him.
Yeah.
She spoke up while he was talking. It did not go well.
It didn't go well for her?
No, he was like,
"Don't interrupt me, cunt!" It might as well. They said the meeting took place in a big boardroom, and there were 30 or 40 people there. Trump kept saying, "This is what Trump's big memorandum of the meeting was. We're in a room of liars, the deceitful, dishonest media who got it all wrong."
He probably shouldn't open with that.
He just sat there, just sitting there, realizing this is how this meeting is going to go. Like, oh no, he just brought us in to scold us.
Yeah, to yell at us.
He just brought us in to reprimand us.
Treat us like shit.
Yeah, it's so good too, because they need it. You know, because the media will call everybody else out. And like, you know, people or us or bloggers or whatever will call out the media. But in a big way, like in a public forum, that doesn't really happen. The media can ignore it. They can live in their bubble and ignore the criticism. When the president-elect is in the room with you going, you guys are bad at your jobs, you're liars, you're deceitful, and you should all be ashamed of yourselves.
He probably figures it's not going to get any better for him anyway. Like, they're not going to just turn around and start treating him well.
Right.
So fuck him.
So he's like, fuck you guys. You guys really did a number on me, you assholes. It says, Trump didn't say Katie Tur by name. But he talked about an NBC. This is what he said in this room full of people. He talked about an NBC female correspondent who got it wrong. Then he referred to a horrible network correspondent who cried when Hillary lost, who hosted a debate.
Did she really cry?
Yeah.
Can we see? Do we have footage of that? That's embarrassing.
The news
You shouldn't
anchor,
cry unless the president gets shot.
Yeah. It was Martha Raddatz.
No.
Martha Raddatz, who cried, and that's exactly who he was talking about. And by the way, she was in the room when he said it.
Good for him.
Martha Raddatz was sitting right there in a chair.
Unprofessional boob crying on the air.
Yeah.
Who's she, me?
Yeah. Only 2 reasons you should cry: when a president gets shot or when you watch Roger Ebert, because you feel bad for him from his jaw.
Well, even fucking Cronkite when JFK got shot, just dabbed a tear. Like, it was like that fast. It wasn't some emotional blubbering.
But that's what I said when I was on Red Eye. I was like, all these anchors, like Rachel Maddow was doing the same thing. They all thought this was their moment. This was their Cronkite moment to show emotion and weep with the country. And it's like, you fucking idiot. The country just voted him in. Yeah. What are you doing?
Donald Trump, I questioned about what he would do in Syria, his understanding of military policy and civilian-military divide. I don't know that he really has a plan for what he's going to do there. He has General Mike Flynn. General Mike Flynn has been with him. He'll quickly tell you he has 200 admirals and generals backing him. I think Mike Flynn has been a huge influence on him. I was also looking back and at an interview Tim Kaine gave. Tim Kaine has a son in the Marine Corps. He was asked by John Dickerson, so if Donald Trump is democratically elected and your son is serving as a Marine, you wouldn't trust his life under that commander-in-chief? And Kaine said, I wouldn't. That's a pretty extraordinary thing to say. if you have a son in the Marine Corps and that you don't trust the commander-in-chief. The people in the military defend the Constitution.
Shut up.
They're breaking up at the end. They defend the Constitution.
Yes, they do.
Like, now Trump is against the military, too? Is that what's going on?
Well, he'll probably use them less around the world than any other president will.
Probably, because he doesn't want to spend the money.
And he also doesn't want to interfere with other countries.
Right.
He won't be sending your Marine son into some country that we have no business going into.
Yeah. He's sitting there trying to figure out what's going on here. I bet.
Yeah. He should have fired them.
That's really great. And one more thing. Never mind.
Turkeys just do that.
That would have been great to all the media. Oh, you're fired.
You're fired. Give him a firing.
What a fuck you that would have been, though. Like, if he's just like, that's how little I take you seriously. It's my little quote. You're fired. CBS Good Morning co-host Gayle King, she didn't stand up, but she asked some questions. How do you propose the media work with you? Chuck Todd asked some questions, but nothing.
Gayle King is asking Donald Trump questions.
Yeah.
Like, this is the press questioning the president. Gayle King is asking Donald Trump questions.
Yeah.
It's a weird world, man.
It really has gotten odd. It really has gotten odd. But what was great was Kellyanne Conway, she goes down to the reporters after this meeting. Because one of the reasons everybody found out the meeting was even happening was because now these meetings are happening in the middle of Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
Right? They're happening in Trump's building.
Oh, is that where that was?
I would imagine that's where Trump is. So the fact that, like, it's not some, like, secluded location, but we have to shut down traffic permanently, and we're letting there's all these photos. George Stephanopoulos and Charlie Rose, and everybody went up. Gayle King is right there. Everybody went up to this big boardroom. There he is! Wolf Blitzer was there. Wolf Blitzer just sat there. He had to go away from his office, walk up to the boardroom, sit down, get ready to be told all the great stuff he was going to get, all the special access he was going to get to Donald Trump, and just sit there as Trump told Wolf Blitzer his entire network was a sham.
Well, you know what it is? They probably just get, at worst case, they probably get a good-natured ribbing.
Right.
Like, Wolf, don't report this. Yeah. They probably get like a little good-natured joshing.
Yeah. Now, I know. I've got myself in trouble with you guys before. I'm going to watch what I say here.
Now you're all liars.
You're all fucking liars.
So great.
Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourselves.
They were all running around the room. I tied in nicely, I thought.
When did you become such a Thanksgiving fan?
I love it.
Why?
My favorite holiday.
Why?
Kill an American boy. So they knew it was bad when Trump sat down. They said, "This is not going to be good.
This isn't going to be great at all."
Because he was like, "Hi,
hi,
hi."
Let's go to Mike in Boston. Mike, welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Hey, guys.
Beantown Mike.
Jimmy, I think you've got this all wrong. I don't think the media is being hard enough on Trump, or has been.
What's that?
I don't think the media is being hard enough on Trump.
How not?
It's Trump. Have you looked at his Twitter? Like, he's out there. He's putting himself out there, attacking people at 3 a.m.
Sure.
Performing this beauty pageant. The dude at the time was running for president.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no, like,
being too harsh. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's cool. He put that out there, but the media went to town on that. Like, that was reported absolutely everywhere, and I mean, you could see the real bias came in at the end of the cycle, I think. Like you really started to see when everybody was reporting that Donald didn't have a chance, when all the stuff that was coming out about Hillary really wasn't being reported very well, and everything about Donald Trump was being reported, all the polls being incorrect, and the people reacting, the news anchors reacting like they reacted as they announced who the president was.
And to show you how the press, someone just tweeted me, Randy Weingart on Twitter, he's fucking morons defending a president-elect scolding the free media. You are baby boys talking about politics. Stick to UFC. And he's a director of TV analytics. Like, that's how
because
people look at it. Like, the press feel. First of all, we're not saying that the media shouldn't be silenced. It is a free media. It is a free media, and so he's allowed to say what he wants to the free media. We're not saying the media shouldn't be permitted to print what they want, but they're biased and they're dishonest.
Yes.
And he was technically right. Whether you like him or not, they've been shitty. So they deserve the beating they got. The New York Times, I'm actually talking to the guy on Twitter, so I'm not even mean you. The New York Times had to actually back up on what they said and go, we'll do better next time. Because they were losing subscriptions. And so the free media was also being criticized by the people who were subscribing to the paper.
And Donald goes on Twitter, by the way, today, like either early this morning or late last night, and he's tweeted like 3 or 4 times about the New York Times.
His Twitter stinks, by the way.
It's time for that to stop.
Fucking stop it.
Stop with that. You don't need to be mentioning the New York Times. Like, you're the president. You can get your word out
he wrote
in
not
other
nice.
ways.
He wrote not nice.
Not.
What are you doing?
Not nice at NY Times. Not nice. That's got to stop. That's really stupid.
I canceled today's meeting with the failing New York Times when the terms and conditions of the meeting were changed at the last moment. Not nice. You don't need to put not
That's
nice.
Stupid. Knock that off.
I'm afraid he may say some embarrassing things as the president.
Do you think that might happen?
Yep.
Are you afraid of that or looking forward to it? Yeah.
It's America. We deserve it.
We do deserve it.
We deserve it.
It's going to be great. But to have a private meeting with the press, bring them all up and tell them that they were unfair and treated him in a shitty way, I don't see anything wrong with that. He didn't tell them, hey, I'm never going to talk to you guys. Hey, you guys shouldn't be talking about me at all. Hey, this is the last time we're going to have a meeting. He brought them up and he said, you guys have been fucking assholes. You know what I mean? And that's it. And I don't think it's the same way Obama has publicly said Fox News was unfair to him. Many times he said, and by the way, Fox News was unfair to him.
They were very unfair.
And nobody had a problem with it.
I want to know, or say at least they were biased, what about the correspondence dinner that he's going to do every year?
He's going to switch it up.
That's going to be awful.
He's going to be like, we're not going to do the roasting
How
thing.
is he going to take getting his fucking asshole chewed out by a comic?
Well, first of all, he's going to be very careful. He's probably going to like hire Dennis Miller or somebody to host it.
I don't know if he gets to select them, though.
Oh, really?
No, I don't know if the president or whoever throws the correspondence dinner, maybe it is the White House themselves. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he does have a say in that.
No, you're right. Because if somebody else hires the comedian, because he didn't handle it well when he was in the audience.
No.
Now he expects a certain respect. Go on, Mike.
Maybe he just won't show up to it. Maybe like he'll do it the first year. Realize like people are still shitting on him and just not show up anymore.
And just be like, well, I have other things to do. I don't need to do this. He could do that,
Yeah.
but Mike, I think that like that he's asking for some of it. He's asking. We're not saying don't criticize Donald Trump by any stretch. I'm not saying that. And he's asking for criticism, and you should criticize him. But they weren't criticizing the other candidate. Donald Trump is a guy that you don't need to make up stories about. Like, you don't need to stretch the truth when it comes to Donald Trump, and the truth was being stretched.
Yeah, or just don't be so biased about it.
I agree that they don't have to make up stories about it, but they were stories also being made up about Hillary Clinton. How long do we hear about the emails nonstop? Over and over again. They stretched that over an entire year.
Yeah,
well, the thing about
you're right, you did.
But it was the emails was a federal investigation. The reason that was stretched over a year is because they were waiting for the FBI to come back with their results. I mean, Hillary Clinton.
To talk about
you got to admit, it looked a little fishy when Clinton had a fucking 45-minute meeting or whatever with the head of the Department of Justice. That looked weird, dude. It didn't look right. Even though you're right, I didn't give a fuck about her emails, to be honest. I could have cared less about them.
But we know that we've set up a thing where emails that are secret emails, classified emails, can't be mishandled. Right? People have lost their jobs, and those have been big stories. When you find out that classified emails have been mishandled, there are big stories with high-ranking military people that have lost their jobs because of it. So the idea that was happening, yeah, that's a thing. And then the further you get into it, when the FBI guy comes out, James Comey comes out, and he goes, he won't say one thing or the other. He'll say, we're not filing criminal charges against Hillary Clinton. But all those things that you think she did. But we're not. But it's not a criminal thing.
And that email thing, only do that final push for the email, it went away, and then stupid Anthony Weiner's computer, because he's fucking sexting with a 15-year-old girl. How do people blame that on anybody? That was their fault.
Right.
They got caught.
Hillary, you are the company you keep.
They got caught with fucking Donna Brazile handing over questions. They got caught fucking Bernie. Again, the Republicans are shitty too, but they just got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
All right.
Bye, mister.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye, Mike.
Brad in Kentucky. What's going on, pal?
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Hello,
Good morning.
Bradley.
Listening to the new show for the first time.
Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you're welcome. I was just made the point that, I can't stand the media. I turn it off when Trump won North Carolina, because I don't care to see jackasses who don't have any integrity left in their profession carry on, at midnight about the future of the country, right? I went to bed before it was even called. And, I mean, it's fine that he brow bashed him, but on the same side, Fox News at the same time was being pretty critical of Clinton. Now, I agree that was probably more biased towards Trump overall, with probably good reason. He's just so outlandish and fun to fucking poke. You all would talk more about Trump on the fun media side as well, right? Because
Absolutely.
It's fucking
time.
entertaining, right, guys?
Yeah.
But the point is, they also made him. When he didn't have a chance, that's where he gets a little disingenuous, which we know he is.
Well, I would say
browbeat the guys that made you, because when he didn't have a chance, who would they cover? Did they cover Cruz
they didn't
or
mean
Rubio
to
or
make him.
Christie?
Yeah,
they didn't mean to make him.
He manipulated them, and even Fox News during the primaries.
Yeah, they got
Fox
into it.
News was not on Trump's side at all during the primaries.
I understand.
Fox News was
But he almost should be
anti-Trump.
thanking them that they're so stupid that they followed him around like little kids with a schoolgirl crush. Can we get another quote from you, Donald? And,
Well, he's basically
you know what I mean?
dude, he's just telling them what he thinks of them. I mean, and the reality is they're going to cover him however they want to cover him. They're allowed to say whatever they want. He can't control that. He can't stop that. He can't do. He's not. There's no way to restrict total access to the media. He just can't do it.
Right.
So maybe some of his private or personal things that other presidents would show a courtesy on, he won't. But they're going to get all the news that they're supposed to get from the White House. That you can't.
And they
keep
should, and they have to.
Of course, they have to. They shouldn't be restricted in what they cover about the president. But if you want to just sit them in a room and go, I think you guys are awful. Good, fuck them.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
No, and I'm fine with it. I just also think it's
I could've done
just
it.
classic Trump. Megalomaniac, where he doesn't realize that they helped him as much. He won on an anti-establishment rant. Like, if you didn't have the media crushing him every day, he can't go out there and whip up the base in Wisconsin and Michigan and say, hey, you guys don't have your fucking jobs because the auto industry fucked you. I'm the man. Listen to these assholes on the telly. They don't see my crowd. And I agree that I don't know if it was luck or pure genius, probably a little bit of both in terms of diabolical manipulation and just kind of lucking into it because of his personality and where we're at with the Twitterverse and just it being so, out. You have to be the bigger it seems like the bigger the asshole you are, the more, press you're going to get. And
I'm not saying he didn't even deserve a beating. I'm not saying he didn't deserve a beating sometimes, of course. But the press, they were extremely biased. Yeah. The papers endorse a candidate. They were all endorsing her. And then there are people going, well, Hillary got bad coverage too. If you think that Hillary got the same amount of bad coverage, even if you fucking hate Trump, you have to acknowledge that she didn't.
I mean, look, even on the comedy side, like even when you look at SNL, like I love SNL. I think it's a funny show. I watch it. But the way that they were poking fun at this thing, it was not just simply, let's make a mockery of what's happening.
Right.
They specifically, on multiple occasions, before and after the election, took time out to be like, let's be serious, though. And they obviously favored Hillary.
They sang a song of grief.
Yeah, they had to do an emotional farewell. And that wasn't an emotional farewell to the character on the show.
Right.
That was, we are so sad. Number one, we lost Leonard Cohen. But mainly, I can't believe Hillary lost the election. And that's the bias that we're talking about. And that's not a media bias. That's that sort of liberal elite Hollywood bias that exists.
We're just an angry country. People don't want to acknowledge that. Everyone's just angry at each other. Like if you express an opinion that other people don't like, they just get mad at you, and I get mad at them. It's the way we are. So we deserve what we get.
Right.
We absolutely deserve what we get. And we really are fucking a bunch of entitled cunts who it's my way or no way. I know it. Like if you're person one, I know politics. You don't understand politics. I don't think people that think they understand politics. Half the people got it wrong. They thought they understood who was going to win, and they were wrong.
Right.
So shut up.
Right. And next time, that half that got it right this time, you guys will get it wrong next time.
You'll get it wrong next time.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But it's supposed to be, the point is that like the news anchors and the reporters, those are supposed to be the only people that are not entitled cunts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only place that it's supposed to not exist, and it exists there more than anywhere.
I think it's hilarious that he did it. I think it's hilarious.
And I said before the election, like, it started to scare me a little bit when Donald started revoking press credentials. I was like, you can't revoke press credentials. You have to allow the press to report. But if you have access, if you're talking to them, I'm all for telling them they're pieces of shit.
Yeah, why not? Why shouldn't you? Why should you go in and have that meeting and then pretend you're not annoyed at them or pretend that you think that they were fair?
When they weren't.
Yeah.
And that's pretty obvious. Melanie in Toronto is here with Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
You guys have got me like almost about to crash my fucking car because I'm so annoyed with both of you.
Why?
Huge fan, first of all. Jimmy, when you were in Toronto, I literally tried to kill someone to get tickets. It's just...
You are a very violent person,
I know.
Melanie.
You want to drive
very
your car.
Violent.
I like you.
I really am. I'm disappointed. Not even disappointed. I'm horrified at the election of Donald Trump because I'm an American citizen.
Where are you from?
I live in Toronto, but I'm
You do? And they've never had a questionable candidate elected, have they? In Toronto.
Yeah, really.
Guys, I understand what you're saying. Rob Ford was a nightmare, but guess what he wasn't? Guess what he wasn't? He wasn't the prime minister. He wasn't responsible for. He was the mayor of Toronto. That
I understand. I'm just joking.
Controlling the world.
De Blasio stinks. I know. I understand.
Right.
Get a hold
but here's
of
my
yourself.
question for you. Here's my question for you guys, and I'm a fan. I listen like pretty much every day, right? So
Sure.
What I want to know is, Jim, how closely do you pay attention to politics? Like is this sort of kind of peripheral, or do you really pay attention?
Well, we talk about it every day, so you pay attention. And here's the thing with politics. I'm aware of the fact that everyone who talks about politics, A, talks about it from their own point of view, and B, thinks they know more about it than they do. I've been on Fox. This is why I've been on Fox on Red Eye many times, and on Hannity with people who were political experts.
Right.
And in a discussion where you're just having a one-on-one back and forth, none of them were impressive. So I talk about it the same, and I'm not even shitting on them. A lot of them knew what they were talking about. But when everyone sounds great in a quick soundbite. But none of us.
No, but Jim, there's certain things that are just kind of facts, right? Like you can sit there. Like I look at like little small things. If you look at the comparison, right? You're saying, oh, Donald Trump. It's right that he called them in and he scolded them and this and that. This is just not something that's done, and I guess that's really cute and everything for you guys. But can I just tell you something? Right now, Donald Trump is costing the taxpayers of the United States $1 million a day just so he can stay in New York. But when Malia Obama wore like a designer dress, the press lost their fucking mind.
Well, okay, no, hold on. Let's go tit for tat. You're correct. I think him staying in New York is a stupid idea. And then let's talk about the daughters again. Hold on. Let's talk about the daughters. When one of the daughters was alleged to have been smoking a little bit of pot, the press was like, "Oh, come on!" But when Jenna Bush got drunk, they went after her a lot differently. The tone was different.
No,
yeah.
You have to talk about which media, right? So let me put it this way.
Wait, the tone wasn't different from the press?
It definitely was.
It was.
Yes, it was.
Jim, the general media was like, look, that's a teenager, whatever. Fox News made it seem like this was the worst possible thing could happen, and like almost as if like Jenna Bush and her sister never happened. You see what I'm saying? Look, my only issue is this, right? You're talking about the reporters that were crying or that were upset or whatever like that on the air. Can I just tell you something?
Sure.
As an American citizen, okay, as an immigrant and as a black person, I am horrified at this man. As someone who loves gay people, who are like, have gay people in my family, who know what conversion therapy can do, according to Mike Pence, this is horrifying.
We agree on that. We agree on that, and he said a lot of dumb shit. He said a lot of dumb shit.
But Jim,
hold on. Yeah, I did brush it off. Yes, I did. Because George Bush was the same way.
But Melanie, also, you're allowed to be horrified, but the press isn't. Like you can't, as a journalist,
of course the press is.
No, an anchor's job is to not be horrified.
Their job is to report the news. They're not supposed to be biased.
That's why they exist.
Guess what the press also is? They're also people.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
And so is he.
And so is the president.
Yes. You're correct.
But here's my question. He sat there and called the press yesterday all liars. Donald Trump is a pathological liar. Like, you could literally sit there and go through every point by point that he makes, and they're all lies.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. It's his meeting. He didn't say anything about himself. Like, just because he's a liar doesn't mean you're not. Like, if I sat there and said, Jim.
I get that. But here's my question, man. You guys live in New York. Y'all know that, like, this is all, comedians are probably going to have a great time for the next 4 years.
Sure.
And it's all.
Not half of them.
Awesome.
Half the comedians are crying.
That is true. There's a lot of comics that want to commit suicide.
The ones like Jim that are funny, but the other ones, who knows, right? But my question is, I'm just wondering, in your genuine heart and soul, I get it, you guys didn't like Hillary Clinton, whatever, but in your genuine heart and soul, like, are you really, like, jubilant about the fact that a complete know-nothing with the vocabulary of a 5-year-old is now president and leader of the free world?
Well, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound good. Yeah, no, I've already said what I liked about him. I've said, hold on, Melanie. I've already said what I liked about him.
Did you vote for him?
Votes are secret. I've already said.
Do you not talk about?
I don't talk politics.
Oh.
I've already said what I liked about his election and what I like about his candidacy, which had nothing to do with his politics. I've said that enough. I don't want to say it again because I've said it a million times.
And we're not on here, by the way. I'm not anyway. The point of me talking about this is not advocating for Trump as a president. We're taking this meeting that he had and saying this thing that he did.
We just hate the press. We just hate the press. We just hate the media, and it's not just
we're two guys.
So we're two guys who hate the media and girls. we like seeing them get a beating. And you know what? If Hillary had won and gave the press a beating, I'd be enjoying it. Anyone who gives them a beating, I'd be enjoying it.
Jim, I think you'd be saying, "Who does this cunt think she is?"
No, you're wrong.
That's what I think.
You're absolutely wrong. I would not. First of all, don't interrupt me, cunt! First of all, no, I would not be saying that. If she gave the media, I didn't hate Hillary. I just like the fact that whatever. I don't want to bore people. I've said it already. What I liked about the idea of electing a guy like him.
And it's fun.
Jim,
it's fun.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jim, do you love? And I don't mean to interrupt you, but Jim, do you love your country?
I do. Yeah.
Do you want your country to remain the way it is? Like, just remain and get better?
Partially, yes, and partially. There's things I want to change, but I also think my country is a little full of shit.
Better, right?
I'd like for it to be great again.
Yeah, I would too. How can that happen?
I knew you were going to drop that in there. I just knew it. I just want you guys to know that as someone who lives outside of the United States, who's an American, but I get a chance to look at this from, a different perspective where, a first world country is doing a lot of the right things and is not as fearful, and someone like Donald Trump could never get even close to the prime minister position. I'm humiliated to the United States of America. Just absolutely humiliated.
No, it's you know what it is.
This man is a sexual assaulting pig.
Well, come on, hold on now. That's maybe, but that's unfair because you don't seem to.
How is that unfair?
Hold on, no, because you don't let me finish. The feminists who get mad, or people, let's say people who get mad, really or people who get mad at fucking Trump for the alleged pussy grab, all the things that he might have done. Every one of them gives a pass to Bill Clinton, and I know he's
Bill Clinton was not running for president, dude.
But when he was the president, listen to me. When he was president, they still gave him a pass.
No, they didn't. He was impeached.
No, I'm talking about the feminists and the people who get angry. He was impeached, yeah, but he lied under oath. He lied under oath during a lawsuit.
He was impeached.
He lied under oath.
Dude, he was impeached.
Hold on.
For that.
Yeah, but I think
yes, but that's a legal proceeding.
I think that he's talking about the people. When you go out there now, Bill Clinton is revered.
Donald Trump just paid $25 million to settle a lawsuit that basically he's agreeing that, look, I'm going to settle this because I'm a fucking thief and a fraud.
That's not the way it works. When you settle a lawsuit, when you settle a lawsuit, it doesn't mean that you're guilty. It means you want it to go the fuck away so you can run for president.
I tend to believe there was something there. You're screaming, Melody.
Then why does Bill Clinton's settlement keep coming up then? Isn't that the same thing? Like him saying, you know what? I don't want to take this to court. This is not an admission of guilt. And guess what? I'm just going to pay this money to make this go away. Isn't that the same thing?
Who said?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but the problem is everyone comes. That's kind of the point. Everyone comes from their own fucking point of view. Like the minute you called,
things are just facts, man.
See, but that's what everybody says. We all say that. None of us go, look, I'm making this up as I go along.
Yeah, facts are facts.
We all say that. We all do that.
Things are undeniable facts, man.
But
that's this man is bad. The rest of the world is terrified.
Okay, let the rest of the world be terrified. A lot of people don't like Merkel. A lot of people don't like a lot of foreign leaders.
You just said, the reporter that was upset that her son, that was saying that Tim Kaine's son is he's in the military, and she was crying about that. Man, can I just tell you, if you guys think for a second that Donald Trump is not going to assist Russia and be a part of a lot of...
All right, Melanie.
All right, Melanie. We appreciate you listening. I know
before I go, I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Jim?
Yes.
If you come back to Toronto and I don't get tickets, I will beat your little white ass so bad.
Now you're making me not want to give you tickets just to receive my punishment.
I know you like that shit. Okay?
All right, bye, Melanie. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie.
Sometimes people just got to get it out.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes you're in the car alone, you hear two assholes talking, you just got to get it out.
But we're not talking about any of that. We're talking about how great it is that some asshole, chubby guy like Donald Trump can get in front of people now that are the media that have been, they're so high up on their pedestal. Yeah. Their shit just don't stink ever, and he gets to reprimand them. It's funny that they have to put up with that.
It's really hard not to yell when you talk politics. It's like almost impossible, and that's like, I think what turned me off to like yelling and screaming about politics is watching like the talking head shows. Mm-hmm. There's not one thing I got out of any of them. When they're on, I just tune them out.
Just shouting.
Yeah. Daddy, Amendment 15, he said. You're like, I don't know if you know what you're talking about. I don't care.
You need to.
They all want that one moment where people go, ooh, what a smarty pants.
Right.
I just sit there and go,
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Kyle in North Carolina. What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Hello, Kyle.
Get your thoughts Good morning. Your thoughts were on Donald Trump leaking his video through YouTube to address the nation versus using one of the news outlets.
I thought it was great. I thought following up this meeting, he then went on YouTube and just released a video saying that this is what we're going to do, that he put it out on Facebook and YouTube, and he used social media. And while he's got to relax with his Twitter account.
Yeah, he's bad at Twitter.
The fact that this is the platform that he's using to release this stuff, I think is good, and I think it's forward thinking, and this is how he's actually talking to people, and people are hearing what he's putting out there. There's no reason to go through a middleman, and he's hitting his audience.
People feel like he's talking directly to them. And one thing the press didn't like, I think, is that they kind of lost control of how this thing went. Like, at first, it was great to report on it and goof on it. And then as he began to gain momentum, they lost control with the ability to kind of to dictate where it went or the tone of it, and they just lost it, and they lost, and they don't like it. Plus, I'm sure they hate him anyway.
Right.
So yeah, I think going to YouTube is great. Why not? You don't need Wolf Blitzer or somebody from Fox setting up your clip and cutting it. How many things have the press edited?
Right.
How many things have they cut out? Like, there was some wasn't there some ABC, like even on 60 Minutes, they only released parts of the interview, like where he's saying he didn't want his people to be violent. You know, dumb media.
They were talking about what time. At what time that was released.
Yeah, right. It was released later.
Yeah.
But the stupid media, they went after Sarah Palin so hard that they rallied people around her. If they would have just painted her like as a bit of an ass, people never would have rallied around Sarah Palin. They made her a bigger star by doing the same shit they did with him.
Now, it is very necessary to still have things like the press room, to still do interviews. You can't...
Sure, where are you supposed to get your juices?
Press. You can't...
It's going to be a long day.
It really is.
Yes, it is.
You can't just keep hitting that gobble sound effect. Just talking about stuff.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's just a turkey gobbling.
You're right. It's happy. He's
Thanksgiving week.
Mr.
It's not,
Turkey.
It's days before Thanksgiving.
Say his name right.
Not even... Mr. Turkey is interrupting me a lot today.
That's all right. He's interrupting. Oh, come on, Mr. Turkey. I was talking. He's doing it to me, too.
I like how he had to stop talking to hit the button.
Yes, I did. I can only do one thing at a time. So I'm afraid I'll just hit the piece of glass and nothing will happen.
You're saying it was very inorganic?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. He wasn't interrupting anything.
Quite. Sorry. You can't just do social media because you need a chance for people to question what you're doing and to have to respond to questions.
Sure.
Like, somebody does need to hold your feet to the fire, as they say.
Ooh.
That's right. But if you're just wanting to release statements, then fuck yeah, do it on YouTube. And by the way, all the networks are going to pick it up anyway.
He disabled the comments.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Disabling comments, it just means that your fucking video stinks and you don't want people commenting on it. Yeah. But I mean, in a way, it's like, I imagine he'd get a lot of negative ones. So he's like, I better take that off.
People are trying to click that thumb down. Why won't it click? Why won't it click?
Yeah.
Let's hear what Donald is going to be saying. And by the way, he's number 2 on trending on YouTube. This is how you hit. He's almost got 1 million views, number 2 on trending, and it's people that are actually watching. It's not just background noise, you know?
Today, I would like to provide the American people with an update on the White House transition and our policy plans for the first 100 days. Our transition team is working very smoothly, efficiently, and effectively. Truly great and talented men and women, patriots indeed, are being brought in.
Pause for a second. You could tell where he throws that. You could tell where he throws something in. Like he's obviously reading, but once in a while he'll throw in like a little not like that type of thing.
There was like 3 parts in here where I'm like, come on, you just speak.
Yeah. Just read the deal.
Patriots indeed.
It's about time.
He threw in.
I was about to say that indeed. Patriots indeed.
Yeah, I think he tossed that in.
Because he goes, you know what he's...
It's about time, yeah.
You know, because he's got this brain where his ego works in such a way where he needs to know that the stuff he just thinks up is better than anybody can write. Yeah. So him in the moment is better than any speechwriter can do. So there's always got to be something that he adds in there.
He can't help himself.
No. It's like when somebody does like a live read, you know, you always hear it. I always hear it anyway because I'm so used to doing them.
Sure.
You can hear on radio shows when somebody does a live read and they just throw an unnecessary word in that was not in the script. Because they need to know, like, oh, I'm having a good time, but it didn't add anything.
It's also the only way. Like when I do a live read, not that I'll reverse certain words because it helps me focus. It helps keep it from being
monotonous.
They're written terribly. See, I try to personalize it. They're like, we love when you personalize it.
Right.
I mean, I'm imagining that's what they're saying.
I don't remember anyone saying that.
No one said that, but I'm imagining.
Steven Singer is a great jeweler. He's a great jeweler indeed.
Oh, I like that.
You just added in.
Yeah.
You know,
a jeweler indeed.
Yeah.
And effectively, truly great and talented men and women, patriots indeed, are being brought in, and many will soon be a part of our government, helping us to make America great again. My agenda will be based on a simple core principle, putting America first. Whether it's producing steel, building cars, or curing disease, I want the next generation of production and innovation to happen right here on our great homeland. America, creating wealth.
He added in
jobs.
America.
Yes, he did.
It said our great homeland, and then he just added in. You guys should really have mentioned America. Yeah,
in case they weren't sure.
That was
He's peppering it in with his own little voice.
His entire dialect changes for one word. Yeah. Okay, thanks for adding that. And we'll go back
American
to the clip.
Workers. As part of this plan, I've asked my transition team to develop a list of executive actions we can take on day one to restore our laws and bring back our jobs. It's about time.
He threw that in.
Yeah,
he tossed that in.
That was a really
tossed
obvious
that in.
one.
Yeah.
It's about time.
Include the following. On trade, I am going to issue our notification of intent to withdraw from the Trans-Pacific
Whoa,
Partnership.
I don't go for that at all. I do not agree with that at all.
They're talking about
bullshit.
Continent between the Pacific Ocean. It's not trans.
Oh.
It's a different thing.
Oh.
Yeah, don't even worry about it, dude. It's not.
Okay.
It's not that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cool. Don't worry about it. Gotta know.
Sounds like such a good partnership.
A potential disaster for
Filipino
our country.
lady
Instead,
boys.
I know.
we will negotiate
please.
fair bilateral trade deals that bring jobs and industry back onto American shores.
Oh, no.
On energy, I will cancel job-killing restrictions on the production of American energy, including shale energy and clean coal.
What is shale energy?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is either. Does anyone know what shale energy is?
I'll tell you who does not know what it is. D. Trump.
Yeah.
He is reading off that cue card.
You think he was reading this for the first time?
Shale
Oh, yeah.
And that's why he said it's about time.
Yeah, but that makes it sound like you're reading someone else's speech. Natural gas produced from shale formations, fine-grained sedimentary rocks with relatively low permeable gas that can be rich sources of petroleum. It's one of the most rapidly growing. I don't know why you'd... What is he talking about doing? Just using oil and not natural stuff?
And I think he wants to do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Millions of high-paying jobs. That's what we want. That's what we've been waiting for. On regulation,
that was thrown
I
in.
will formulate a rule which says that for every one new regulation,
oh no,
two old regulations for every.
I like this though, even though I don't know how feasible this is. Because everything is so bogged down in shit.
Yeah,
I love the idea of this something simple like this.
You mean the video itself?
No, doing every new regulation you remove two.
Oh.
And I don't know if that makes sense in every case, but everything is just so overly fucking monitored.
Like just start over.
Yeah, you just get bogged down in shit.
Right.
I will formulate a rule which says that for every one new regulation, two old regulations must be eliminated. So important.
So important, he goes.
I will ask the Department of Defense and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff to develop a comprehensive plan to protect America's vital infrastructure from cyber attacks and all other form of attacks. On immigration, I will direct the Department of Labor to investigate all abuses of visa programs that undercut the American worker. On ethics reform, as part of our plan to drain the swamp, we will impose a 5-year ban on executive officials becoming lobbyists after they leave the administration, and a lifetime ban on executive officials lobbying on behalf of a foreign government.
To me, I don't know enough about that. I just like the idea that you have to wait 5 years. I don't know if it's smart to allow them to lobby on behalf of other countries or not, because they have relationships and they understand the interact. I don't know if that's right or wrong.
Right.
But I do love the fact that he's banning these people from fucking lobbying until they're out for 5 years.
He's draining the swamp.
I love it.
He's draining it.
It's just going to be a bunch of little people.
I love that he
gobbling away.
He's got a 2.5-minute speech, and he's managed to sneak in, make America great again, and drain the swamp.
Yeah. Drain the swamp's a good one.
Got to get your catchphrases in there.
That's why I say I'm about to come. I'm going to drain the swamp.
That's right.
Open your mouth, I'm going to drain the swamp. And I'll cut my balls, meaning they're the swamp.
That's what the swamp is.
True. Your mouth is the draining apparatus.
That's right.
These are just a few of the steps we will take to reform Washington and rebuild our middle class. I will provide more updates in the coming days as we work together to make America great again for everyone. And I mean everyone.
He added, by the way, the last line, and I mean everyone. That was not in the speech.
That was his way of addressing people who are afraid or like the Hamilton speech. That's how we should have addressed it the first time. Everyone.
Of course. Because they wrote him a speech, and he just got to pepper in his shit.
You know what? That actually works, though. Throw in your occasional sides. This way you can feel like you've owned it. You made it your own. Changing a little line of dialogue here and there.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. I love this... what happened with Chris Christie that's coming out.
Oh, my God.
It's the fucking best.
Dude, he blew it the way I would have blown it.
Yeah, exactly. Little Jimmy just gets too excited and happy to be around everybody. So at first, they were saying that it was very policy driven and it was serious business, that Chris Christie got thrown out of Trump's Memphis Mafia because of Bridgegate and because of this and because the woman came forward. And I'm sure that didn't help. But... reportedly, Chris Christie lost his leadership role on Donald Trump's transition team after he leaned in a bit too hard during the president-elect's victory speech earlier this month. A campaign source says that Christie spent election night trying to push his way into photos with Trump and in the process annoyed his new boss of just a few hours.
I want to know how long into it was before Trump's like, he won't stop putting his fat face in every picture.
Yeah.
Get him away from me. Stand over there, please.
Chris Christie was just following him around on election night, making sure he was in the back, which, by the way, puts into whole new context this idea. Remember the first speech that Chris Christie was with Trump?
Yeah.
And he was standing behind him?
Right.
And everybody kind of made a joke about the fact that he was so close to Trump the entire time. Chris Christie wanted to be in the camera shot. He wants so badly. He figured out he's never going to be president. It's never going to happen. He didn't even come close. He was never taken seriously.
Well, he might think this is his way in, though, through the vice presidency.
Here's what I don't even think he wanted. I didn't even think he think that was realistic. I think that Chris Christie decided that he's never going to be president. He's not going to be vice president either. People just don't take him seriously in that capacity. So I'm going to try to get myself into every picture and every video possible. That way, when the history books are written and people go back and look at videos of great speeches and moments of these great photos and everything, he just needs to be in as many as possible.
Yeah, I think he had higher aspirations, but also just he likes being in the camera eye.
He thought he might be. I don't think he definitely didn't think he was going to be vice president, because Mike Pence is very different than Chris Christie.
Well, remember earlier on, though, that people didn't know. They're like, well, is it going to be him? Wasn't he his first choice? No, actually, Chris Christie was his first choice.
There was a report that he wanted Chris Christie.
And he told him yes.
People in his circle were like, no, that's not a good idea.
He had been told yes.
Right, but I think any political person knew that that wasn't going to happen because Chris Christie is too much like Donald Trump. Like they just needed a conservative guy, and Chris Christie, you can't have somebody that hugs Obama during the hurricane, unfortunately.
I think it was the bridge. I think that Trump would have liked a guy like that in a way because it might have helped him against Hillary. I also think the Bridgegate is what fucking killed him.
They brought in a vice president, though, that would help him with conservative people because the conservative people started turning on him.
Yeah,
and the conservative people would not have, if this was the ticket, the never Trumpers on the conservative side wouldn't have been like, oh, this is better now.
Yeah, well, he also had that whole thing, Chris Christie with the dentist scandal.
What was that?
Bridgegate.
You mean because they're a dentist? You mean because adding a bridge can be an oral surgery?
Yeah, you bet it can.
That's Bridgegate.
You didn't care for that? No?
No, was it a good one?
Oh, well then. That's good. They're pretty happy again.
Gobble, gobble indeed. But yeah, I love just learning more and more.
That made me so happy.
About Chris Christie, that he's just running around trying to be a part of history. Especially the fact that, like, so he didn't get to be the vice president, and I think that was just because they had to do it strategically. They needed Indiana, so they got Mike Pence, and they needed conservatives, so Mike Pence fit both those categories. Chris Christie is not going to deliver New Jersey, and he's not going to deliver conservatives. So that's why he didn't get that position. But that's okay.
Yeah, Trump offered it to him. I really believe that.
You can still be in the Memphis Mafia. You can still be maybe Secretary of State, maybe one of these positions. I think Chris Christie was going for that Giuliani role. That role that Giuliani has now where he's the spokesperson, and he's out there, and he kind of can get whatever he wants aside from those top two tiers.
He wants to be the go-to guy.
Yes, exactly.
He wants to be...
Exactly.
He's like, boy, they won't call me old fatty pants anymore. I'm the go-to guy.
Right. And guess what? If anybody does call me fatty pants, I can call up President Donald and tell him. And he'll do something about it because I'm his go-to guy.
Get out of my pictures, fat boy.
Yeah. Will somebody fucking get Christie out of here?
Do we have more pictures? Well, where's the speech? What was he? What did he try to get himself into? Like with the election, they said
it was election night.
No, but I mean the actual speech. Is there video of him in the speech
with Trump's concession speech? See, there he is.
No, victory speech.
That's what I meant. Victory speech. Yeah. Trying to jump in. Look up the victory speech.
Yeah, I want to see that.
And see, he was just walking around on election night, just being like, "Hey,
oh yeah."
He was shadowing Trump.
Well, he was doing that thing. You know that look that you see in people's eyes? You see it all the time when, like, they go wide-eyed and are pretending that they're busy doing something, or they look around the room as if they're looking for somebody in particular.
Yeah.
But what they're really doing is not leaving your side because they just want to be a part of whatever you're doing.
You know, like you have something important to tell them. He's supposed to feel important.
He was really hoping that Donald would just be constantly asking, hey, where's Chris?
Right.
Yeah.
I got a question. I need advice about something. When in actuality, it's like when somebody's trying to get, like when you're trying to get a photo with a celebrity. We've been there. I've been there. When you are just waiting until he's done doing whatever he's doing, but you can't look like you're waiting. So you, in vain, try to look busy. You look around the room, you do anything, but really you are just trying to stay within 6 feet of this celebrity so you can get your photo as soon as that conversation's over.
Boy, is Barron Trump going to get a lot of pussy when he grows up.
Oh, my God, this kid.
He's a handsome kid. He's a fucking son of a billionaire. And he's going to be the son of an ex-president. Whether or not Trump's a liked president won't matter. He's still the son of a president.
Chris Christie was probably trying to get Barron's spot up there on stage. That's probably what really pissed him off.
He probably ran in the back to get his white tie, and then the kid took his spot.
Hey, Barron, I think I'm going to be standing there, and is he trying to push my son out of the way?
Yeah.
Is he trying to push my son out of the way to get camera time?
Get him out of there. Get my son up here.
Yeah. No, not Eric. I want the little good-looking one.
Give me the cute one with the future.
Yeah.
Get that fat kid out of here. Get him out of here. Don?
Poor Chris Christie. He really thought he had it all figured out.
Yeah.
He really thought he had it all figured out.
I'm so happy. He got caught just for photobombing.
Photobombing.
For fucking putting a big fat dumb mug to a bunch of pictures it didn't belong in. And we can both relate to that.
Right. Of course. Just trying to be like, okay, well, if I'm not going to get a picture with this person, at least let me okay, I've done it for you. You're like, I'll just stand back and just take a photo of like me standing back here just so people know I'm part of the environment.
Yeah.
Like this is just where I hang out. This is my social circle. It isn't. You fucking social media vixen. It's not your social circle. So funny. I love it. I love how far down it's gone for him. And there's no coming back for Chris Christie. I don't know what he does now. Nobody gives a fuck. He could, like, most of these guys write a book, go on a speaking tour. Nobody gives a fuck about that guy. Nobody's going to buy his book. Nobody's going to go see him speak.
I know, big fat Zelig popping up everywhere.
That's what he's going to have to do. The only thing left for Chris Christie is to lose a bunch of weight and start infomercials for, like, you know, you can Christie off all the pounds.
He's eating M&Ms at the game.
He just loves them.
Small bag of M&Ms.
Is that what he's doing? Good for him.
He's pouring. Yeah, you know why he's pouring that small bag of M&Ms into that big box?
He finished half the big box.
And because those big fingers, he has trouble with the bag.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
big,
what goes
chubby
on.
fingers.
He can't get the big fingers in the bag.
I'll bet you the bag rips and M&Ms spill onto his fat pants. Oh, for Pete's sake.
And he gets mad, number one, because he's humiliated, but number two, because he was going to eat those.
Yeah, because he's one of 3 people wearing dress shoes at a baseball game, stepping on his M&Ms.
He's got little chunks of candy shell in the rubber parts of his shoe.
That's what started my fucking candy binge at Dumb Bert's house. Those little peanut M&Ms. Oh my God, those things. Do you know what I want? Pretzel M&Ms.
They're really good.
Oh, you bet they look good.
They're really
Holy
good.
Fuck, do they look good?
You should try some.
I will. December.
After
I shoot, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna treat myself to a snack.
Yeah, get a pouch of crispy M&Ms because I shot my special.
Yeah, that's my little treat. I'm gonna have some pizza.
Wow.
I'm gonna do something that I won't mention, and I'm gonna have some M&Ms.
As long as we can get that visa worked out. Let's go to Angry Andy in Virginia. What's up, pal?
Best of the morning, dear brother.
Oh, I fucking hate Angry Andy, don't I?
Why? He's angry.
Oh, he's such a fucking idiot.
Why?
Best of the morning.
Deaf of the morning to you, Angry Andy. You can't possibly be intoxicated this morning.
Alpacals.
I think the thing with Christie is his big, gigantic bunt. I thought he was, like, really one of the most eloquent speakers during the debate.
What? He wasn't
you
out.
Can't get... Don't interrupt me, cunt!
Okay, what are you calling for, buddy?
Like,
Yo.
Just so you can play the gobble gobble thing.
Okay, goodbye, Angry Andy. I can't.
He sounds like very mellow Andy.
It. He sucks.
He doesn't sound angry.
He's terrible.
He sounds happy.
He's terrible. He was
hear the gobble gobble. Hold on a second. There you are. Be happy, Andy.
He was calling. I said on the thing because our Allison Rosen podcast came out yesterday.
Yes,
and people seem to have enjoyed our newlywed game that she made us play.
That was I genuinely laughed doing that. That was really fucking funny. I thought that was very silly.
Yeah, we're actually playing while we're in Best of the next couple days. We're playing stuff we've done here, but a bunch of the podcasts that we did in LA. So we're playing I think the Stone Cold podcast, the Burt Kreischer podcast,
Kerala,
and Greg Fitzsimmons.
Oh, we're not playing Kerala?
I don't think this time. Maybe we'll save it for Christmas.
Okay,
we'll probably do Allison Rosen at Christmas too.
Hers was really that we should play that quiz.
Yeah, we should.
I thought that was very funny.
It was really fun. Speaking of, go ahead.
And then just something different. Like even though it's a dumb newlywed game, it was still fun to.
Well, we didn't take it very seriously.
No. To see how much you know about each other, and I'm like, what am I going to guess? What Sam's favorite TV show is? Who gives a fuck?
Who cares?
That's the only one I got right.
We also have, speaking of podcasters, the Legion of Skanks fellas are going to be in today in just a little while. But look who's outside. The D-bag's outside the door. And I don't know if you heard it, Jim, because it was after the show yesterday, so I don't know if he smartened you up to it. But
thank you.
And D-bag, I actually don't know if you are aware. Adrian came up with a bit for you for Thanksgiving. Great. Did you hear about this? Do you know about this, Jim?
I've heard rumors of it, but I'd like to hear it again in detail.
Yeah, the last thing I want is rumors and hearsay about. And D-bag, you were not brought up to speed about this. I swear, and D-bag, I would tell you if I was throwing you under the bus for something. You know that? This is Adrian's deal.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't know about it?
No, but I saw a picture of a turkey costume on Rolling Screen the other day, and I was like, oh, how original. They'll probably get it for me to wear.
Right.
So, was I right?
I don't know. Adrian, what are you thinking?
You are correct.
Okay.
But we also were supposed to get me a pilgrim costume, which I guess never came in.
It got lost in the mail.
Ah, how convenient,
what
right,
a bummer,
D-bag?
huh?
What a bummer.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks, when things go wrong.
Yeah, but hey, luckily the turkey costume came in, right?
Oh.
How convenient is that?
Well, thank God. Yeah, the bid's not ruined.
Yeah. So what are we thinking, Adrian?
Well, I figured just to celebrate the coming holiday, Derek will dress as a turkey, and we'll do some Thanksgiving trivia with prizes and punishments.
What are you talking about?
What are the prizes?
Well, if Derek gets a trivia question right, he's rewarded with a Thanksgiving snack.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong, and he has to have some wild turkey.
What do you mean wild? Oh, whiskey.
Yes.
So you'll ask Thanksgiving trivia, and if he gets it right, he eats Thanksgiving food. And if he gets it wrong, he has to drink whiskey.
And maybe the sick baby vomits.
Oh, so you're gonna. So your goal here is to dress D-Bag up in a turkey outfit and get him to puke.
Not necessarily my goal, just a preferred outcome.
Right. I see.
Yeah.
I see. How do you feel about this, D-Bag?
I wish I would have known earlier because I didn't eat anything today.
Right.
Well, that's why we got the Thanksgiving food.
I guess you could get the questions right. It is odd though. The D-Bag would be. I don't feel like he's done. Like this seems like a punishment.
Yeah.
You know, and like it's weird, D-Bag, for you to just walk in the room and be like, "Hey, you're wearing a turkey suit, right?"
Yeah, I kind of knew it was coming, so I wasn't super surprised by it.
But it's an odd,
peculiar,
right? Because theoretically, couldn't D-Bag just be like, "No"?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I asked you guys about it ahead of time. You're like, "Yeah, good idea." And I was gonna wear a pilgrim costume as well.
You said that,
and we were
right. Are you bummed that you're not wearing the pilgrim outfit?
It sucks.
It does, right?
Yeah. Well, things fall through sometimes.
Yeah. The mail's not always reliable.
It does suck. Because you wanted to wear a costume today, right, Adrian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
That's gonna be a humiliating costume to wear. A turkey costume.
Yeah, especially like
that's humiliating.
Because whoever wears that, like D-Bag wearing it, they would have to wear it all day, right?
I would assume.
Yeah, that would be fair. D-Bag, do you think
it sounds fair?
It sounds fair, right?
It sounds like the way it should be done.
Yeah, well deserved.
Do you want to wear a costume?
I
mean, is it? I'm
not perturbed by it. To be honest.
But do you want to wear? Like, did you come in today going like, "Oh, I hope I wear a humiliating costume today"?
No, that's not how I started my day.
That's a really bad turkey costume.
Yeah.
You're gonna look like an ass in that.
It's just weird because I want to keep the staff
a little beak.
I want to keep the staff happy, and one person on staff wanted to wear a humiliating costume today.
Yep.
One person on staff did not want to wear a humiliating costume today.
I think I see where you're going with this.
Right?
Yeah.
So I mean if we're going by fair is fair.
Yeah.
I mean, Travis.
Yes, boss. Ugh, never mind. You're not boss.
No, you were right.
Talk to your boss.
You were right. Talk to the boss.
Go ahead.
No.
Talk to the first of.
I'm picking up too many Adrianisms.
No, you're right. You're right. You should be talking to me like that unless you want one of those Trump boardroom discussions.
That's right. Good scolding.
First of all, you should be ashamed of yourself for referring to me by my first name.
You're a dishonest liar, Tef. Sitting there with your glasses, you can't even see. You have no one to hug on Mother's Day.
Sad.
She left without calling. Not nice.
So Travis, you're around. You have a pulse on what goes on in the back office, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when D-Bag had to wear cocksucker red lipstick and plastic wrap, did he enjoy that or not enjoy that?
Did not enjoy that.
Huh. Fact or fiction, D-Bag?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Okay. Travis, when Adrian was talking about this idea and that he would wear a pilgrim outfit, was he excited or not excited?
Excited.
Oh. Well, then that kind of leads me to believe, I don't think...
We like people to be happy around here.
Yeah, I want people to be happy. I feel like D-Bag, do you think you should be wearing the costume, D-Bag?
It appears as though someone else would be more so inclined.
D-Bag, who do you think should wear the costume?
I think it would look good on Adrian.
You do?
He's got that black eye, that little turkey detail accent.
D-Bag, would you like to see Adrian wear a turkey costume today?
Only if he's drinking a lot of whiskey while wearing it, you know?
You think so?
Absolutely. Welcome to Z100. I think absolutely.
Yeah. Adrian, I think the turkey costume is a better fit for you.
Whatever you say.
Yeah.
Does he have to walk around like a person or like a turkey?
No, he has to say gobble 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 cunt in the office really loud.
Well, how would the gobble gobble sound?
All the way down. It would be like this.
Right? Take off his clothes, right?
Cunt.
Well, yeah, of course he's got to not wear his clothes under the turkey outfit.
Yeah.
You know. Unless we should wrap him in plastic wrap before we put him in the turkey outfit.
Oh, that could be an idea.
We have more. Hey, by the way, guests here.
Are they here?
Yeah, the Legion of Skanks guys are here. So yeah, this will be good. We'll put Adrian in the turkey outfit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's a big tail.
That's all right. Turkeys have big tails.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're going to tie the head to me.
Yeah.
Strip all the way down, bro. I even say go nude. I'm not going nude. Come on, go nude.
You don't need to, Adrian, you don't need to go nude.
Yeah, you don't need to go nude.
We don't need to see you nude. I understand Troy gets excited sometimes, but...
So what does he do after this?
I don't know.
Do we just know that he has a turkey outfit on?
I guess so. The whole thing sounded stupid to me.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Adrian was just like, oh, what if we get it? Well, he's got to wear the hat, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mark this for best of.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be good if Adrian wears a turkey outfit, and then we ignore him like usual. Yeah. Travis, are we missing any angles here?
No, I think we're all covered.
Cool.
Travis, when you know, you're the head guy here, I think, behind the scenes.
Yes, we appreciate the way you give it.
When you, when you told Adrian,
fucking velvet mouth, old velvet mouth Teft.
When you told Adrian that you thought this was all a good idea and that I would like it, were you lying to him?
Well, I mean, I wasn't lying when I said it was a good idea. I just knew what the outcome was going to be.
Right, that it would end in Adrian's humiliation.
Yes.
I see. You look good, dude. You look good. Yeah. Put your No, you don't need to put the shoes on.
I think those...
Oh, the turkey feet go over the shoes?
Turkey feet go over the shoes.
Okay, good.
Are these the feet? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Have you done... You haven't done best of yet, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's all ready to go. I mean, I have to put it together.
So will you build the best of in the turkey outfit?
Whatever you want.
Okay, that's what I'd like. That's what I'd like.
I think he's actually excited about it.
I think he is too. He should be. This is a fun time.
How long will it last?
Are the guys here?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we'll take a break. Adrian will be in a turkey outfit. I don't know if we'll acknowledge it or not. Probably not. But the Legion of Skanks guys will be here right after this. Jim, do you have anything you want to promote?
I'm heading to Saratoga Springs this weekend.
Oh.
I had a guy who hit me up on Twitter. He got mad that I plugged too much.
What? Tell him to shut the fuck up.
I did.
Good. Yeah, no, how about, like, it's not only for your sake, but people should know where you're going to be.
Yeah.
So
for Pete's sake.
Yeah. You'll be in Saratoga Springs.
Joking, comedying.
On Friday?
And Saturday.
Friday and Saturday in Saratoga Springs. In Saratoga Springs. Okay. Adrian looks so stupid.
Yes, he does.
You look great, dude.
When we come back, the madness continues.
Were you one of those gobble sound effects?
Yeah. I mean, look, between this and Adrian, the madness will continue.
It never stops. Welcome back to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Jim Norton is dropping a hot tanks. That's a thing, Travis.
I'm still not sure on that.
Dropping a hot tanks is what people say. He's dropping a hot tanks.
How's Adrian going to drop a hot tanks later in that costume?
You mean Turkey Boy Adrian? Adrian the Thanksgiving turkey?
He has to fucking go.
He'll just piss himself. Yeah. That's no problem. Adrian wanted to humiliate D-Bag for no apparent reason today. So now he's got to wear the turkey suit.
I wish we had, like, a huge guest coming in.
Well, we got the Legion of Skanks, fellas.
That's true.
Well, 2 out of the 3. Apparently, Big J's not coming. He's sick or something. I don't know. I think Louis J. Gomez is going to fill us in. But Louis J. Gomez and Dave Smith are both here as well as we eagerly await the appearance of all 3 great comedians, Jim Norton included. Don't forget, Jim's going to be up in Saratoga Springs here in New York on Friday and Saturday. You just listening on the headphones?
Do you want me to grab them or
no, they'll come in. Yeah, they can come in now.
Yeah.
Now that he's here. Welcome back, Jim Norton. Dropping hot tanks.
I had to go upstairs.
Yeah, because it's closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. You can't when the cleaning lady closes the bathroom.
Yeah.
You cannot fuck with that. You cannot fuck with that. Here they come. Dave Smith. Yeah, those work. And Louis J. Gomez from Legion of Skanks.
The Legion of
Yeah. The Legion
isn't here.
The Legion of Sky is here.
Yeah, well, come on. If of Skanks is fine, we can give Jay his own word.
He's the Legion.
He's a big boy.
He's a big Legion.
How come he's not coming in?
Well, he said he wouldn't do the show without Opie. So.
Oh,
I've been told I put the of in Legion of Skanks.
Yeah, that would make sense actually.
He doesn't like getting up in the morning.
No. He legitimately hit me up at 7 this morning and was like, dude, I'm sick. I'm like, I don't know if he's puking or shitting or both or
hungover.
I don't know. I don't think he's hungover. He just said he's sick. He legitimately said he's bummed though, and he wanted to be here, and he'll definitely do it again in the future. So
yeah, for sure.
Adrian, you thought it was because of because he didn't come in the morning before?
Me? No, I was just
you just got okay.
Okay. What was Adrian's guess? Because I take anything somebody in a turkey costume.
Yeah, he thought maybe Jay was mad.
Dude, the really hilarious thing about making someone wear a turkey costume at work like that is just when they forget they're in a turkey costume and give you a serious... Like, he just comes and he goes, they're ready for you. And you're like,
well, that's the plan. There's no sort of like, whoa, watch our guy in a turkey outfit do crazy Thanksgiving stunts. Like, no, he's just going to wear that and do his job.
The only thing that would be better is if he was fired today for something and he had to go in that fucking douchey outfit.
I love that's also 99.9% of the people that consume this show do it through audio means only. So there's no reason for
this. There's no reason. We're going to ignore him now.
They've been told several times that he's in a chicken outfit, I imagine.
I promise you. He's dressed as poultry. I assure you, it's a man in a bird outfit. It's the craziest goddamn thing you've ever seen.
It's really nuts around here.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a quail.
We get a little crazy before the holidays.
Yeah,
guys,
we sure do. We get the sound effects. Oh my God,
it's a little nuts.
Oh, amazing! What a show!
It's a little nuts in here, man.
You're having the Legion of Skanks on. It's like, let's make silly visual puns for the holidays.
So, are you guys doing a big Thanksgiving show? Or are you just doing your show?
We're just doing our show.
Yeah.
We were going to do like a thing, but every time we have an idea for a show, it falls apart. Or sometimes we do it, but it'll always be put together like last minute. Like you just said that, and I'm kind of getting motivated. I'm like, nah, dude, we should fucking do a Thanksgiving show.
That's your problem. Like, you're a motivated guy, and you always want to be doing something, and like you always feel like you have to do something different or something special or something. Sometimes it's okay to just do the show. You could just do the show and just do a good show.
But when you just said that, it sounded so boring that I literally want to go to sleep.
No, I know what it is. It's the fear of falling through the cracks. I get it. It's doing 50 different things and never saying no to anything because you're like, I'm going to be irrelevant if I don't do anything. I get it. I always keep busy because I am literally hanging on by a thread.
I have to be in front of people. I have to remind people that I exist.
Well, as Norton saying it, I'm just... Like, yeah, that's the story of your career. You just do like 1,000 different things.
Always doing them, but that's what it is. People like your work ethic. I'm like, no, I'm terrified.
Yeah,
right.
I'm hanging on by a thread.
It's kind of because when you work, you're almost like kind of self-promoting at the same time. If I'm doing something and I'm promoting this thing that I'm doing, I'm also letting people know that I have shit going on at the exact same time. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like while you're working, you're actually promoting yourself.
Right, and you don't ever want to be like, no, this isn't all I do.
Yeah.
No. I got a whole bunch of other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you start to like want the audience to know too, like just so you guys know. It's not like I just do this show and then leave and go home and just scratch my balls. It's like I'm working so hard and blah blah. No, we don't care. We just want to hear a good show.
Yeah.
You know,
but
it's unhealthy. It's not
now
good.
we need some sort of good food. We need some sort of turkey costume or some sort of like things. We
can't just do good radio anymore. You gotta have a guy in a turkey costume.
Yeah. We could bring in a bunch of Dominicans and have them dressed as American Indians and have a bunch of white guys come in and slay them on stage as kind of like an opening passion play for Legion of Skanks.
In the middle?
Yes.
A little turkey boy in the middle.
So you guys are jealous that you walk in and you see we've got a turkey boy.
A whole production team behind us.
Yeah, I mean,
I've always loved pageantry.
Yeah.
And when you see it up live, it's impressive.
You guys have motivated me now. Now you're bringing the best out of me. I like it. I walk in here. By the way, I'm in a great mood this morning. I don't really wake up this early and broadcast, but I will tell you right now, this is fucking nice.
Why are you in a great mood?
Any excuse to not hang with Jay. It's really nice.
Because Jay didn't show up.
Yeah, he's now. Do you guys? There's no strife right between the three of you?
No, not at all. Yeah.
I mean, like we're all brothers, so we've all like fought a lot, but we're all.
Yeah. Who gives a shit? Why would we care that he would start a radio show with the best guests that we have on our podcast out of nowhere? But anyway,
it's totally cool.
What I think is in the morning.
We invited you guys to do it with him, right?
What
the radio show with your best guest?
Oh yeah, no, we chose not to take a weekly salary coming in for. All the work that we do.
Yeah, no, they wanted it to be the bonfire. Originally was all of us, and we said, you know what, you guys do it.
Right. Yeah, I would assume that Jay was like, well, the show I'm already doing is great, and we could do it with Soder. Why don't we just go do that, and that we could all do it?
It was like,
he did that, and you guys were like, no.
When Dan would come into that room and sit down with us, his ass would hit the seat, and it was like we would take our audience on a magical journey.
Right.
And it was like Jay saw that, and he was like, "Dude, we got to capture that, bottle it
without some of the dead weight."
By the way, you know what, Soder?
We got to trim the fat.
Yeah.
Dude, Soder came on Legion of Skanks, and we were joking around about this, and Soder goes, "No, dude, it's like Wu-Tang Clan, and I'm like Method Man," and then you were like, half of Wu-Tang is dead, dude. Like, it didn't work out well for any of them.
That's right.
Method Man and Redman went on to become movie stars, and, like, ODB's dead.
Right.
I don't know. But anyway, that was his example to calm me down.
That's right. Because, like, Method Man is the one household name, by the way, in Wu-Tang. Like, people who are not hip-hop... Why does he get to be Method Man? He's not even...
No, he's Redman.
Oh,
Jay's Method Man.
And Jay gets... And who are you guys?
Well, we're not even the other 7 guys.
Think Lewis is like the Jizza.
Yeah, you're the Jizza.
And you're Jerry. He's the Wu-Tang guy that no one knew.
Yeah, I'm the guy that, like, you know how when you go out and people will be like, "Oh yeah, we're Wu-Tang affiliated." I'm one of those. I'm like a gang member, part-time rapper.
You're the guy who cut off his dick and jumped out the window and said, "I'm in Wu-Tang."
Oh God, yes. I did Jay's crowd work show, which was fun.
Yeah.
It's weird doing all crowd. Like, you get so used to. I love doing crowd work, but I do it in the middle of something, like when I feel like doing it. But when you go up and just do it with no material, it's a weird thing to just start talking to people.
It's cool because I did that show last season, and it's being recorded and you can't use any material, which puts a comic in, even like you said, even if you do that sometimes, it's just a set and you have your jokes in between. So it's nice to put you on the spot to be like, this is going to be recorded and you can't use any crutches at all.
Well, there's times where, like, when you're talking to people where you're like, I don't even want to ask this guy a question. I don't give a fuck about it. Sometimes you use it to segue into something else.
Yeah.
You know, it's called being a lazy writer. Like, I just want to segue from relationships into fucking, whatever, Somalia. So I'm like, I'll find some skinny black guy. Whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's weird because it's almost easy if I'm doing a set. I can always rely on crowd work. If the jokes aren't going well, I'll just go to crowd work and you get a cheap, easy laugh. It's kind of easy to do crowd work. But then when you're just doing crowd work and you can't rely on your jokes, it flips it in a weird way, and you kind of put a spotlight on it. It's you start to have a lot of respect for somebody like Jay or somebody like I know Todd Barry just did that tour and did that album.
Voss does a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. It's pretty intimidating when you don't have the jokes that work. But I think the instinct is to always go to the generic, where you're from, what do you do for a living? Yeah. And Jay taught me a while ago, and Jay, like, truthfully, we're busting Jay's balls, but he's a fucking master of the craft of comedy. He's one of the most brilliant comics. He's really funny. And he gave me great advice on crowd work. He was like, dude, you don't have to go where you're from, what do you do for a living? Just ask them something very specific. I mean, he always goes dirty, so he'll be like,
ask them something very specific. And Jay's example is always like, does your girl shave her pussy hair or something like that?
But I mean, if you kind of like, you're going to always go to a unique way. So instead of saying where you're from, I could say to you, I was like, oh, what'd you have this morning for breakfast? Like, nobody else is doing a crowd work show is going to kind of start
what
from
a
that
fascinating
angle.
Question. Hey, Jim, I want to know the actual answer to that, man.
I'll be very honest with you.
Semen.
I had no. That's always dessert. You don't get your treat. You don't get your pudding unless you eat your meat.
That's right.
That's right. I had some egg whites and a little avocado and little coffee.
That's almost gayer than semen.
Jim was telling us, he's got a special coming up in next month. And after he shoots his special, that's when he's going to treat himself to a cheat day where he's going to eat pizza and M&Ms.
Oh, yeah?
Right. I'm going to shit my own mouth. Head standing.
That's right.
Yeah, with crowd work, the weird thing is it's almost like a lot of times you don't know where you want to go with it, or just keep them talking. That's an old thing in crowd work. People will eventually give you something if you just ask a couple of questions. Ba-ba, ba-ba. Eventually they're going to trip up, or there's going to be something.
They'll say something stupid eventually, guaranteed, because they're nervous.
Right.
In that moment being put on you don't remember, like, we go on stage every night, or you're on the radio, Sam, or whatever it is, but it's like people that are put on the spot like that, they're terrified to speak in front of 150 people, 200 people.
Do you find gold mines, though, that you just don't want to get rid of? Like, 'cause when I have like an intern or something who's specifically nervous, or like D-Bag, for instance, when D-Bag's in here and we start talking to him, I feel like I just want to keep talking to him because he just keeps coming up with stuff. Or you remember Hot Dog?
Sure.
Hot Dog, like, no matter what you would do.
Did you make him dress like a hot dog?
No. No, that was just his name. But Hot Dog, no matter what you would bring up, no matter what you would do, he would come up with the stupidest real life story or theory or whatever it was. and I would just find myself falling into hot dog traps where I would never want to get off this person.
I've had those things sometimes where you have like sometimes you'll just talk to someone and you're not planning on getting into it long, but like you said, they're just so interesting. You're like, well, you just
I'm
like,
gonna give up my show and just talk to you.
Well, you're just like, oh, dude, where are you from? And you usually expect to get, and someone will be like, like Iran, and then you're like, well, now we got to do a little bit more on this because that's probably an interesting story. Like, or there's just something about the dynamic.
I do crowd work in real life, so when somebody tells me they're from Iran, I'll be like, yeah, dude, fucking terrorists, guaranteed. I make everyone laugh at them. I get crowds together around
it's not
them.
so much doing crowd work as it is, I'm working for Trump rounding people up. I'm just like, are you from Iran?
It's really hate speech.
It's really what I like to do. You're not going to always get the gold mine, though, in the audience. Like, I mean, every show would be great if you could find a guy in a wheelchair with no arms and his mouth open. Do a half hour on that guy. But that's not always available.
Does that... Go ahead.
I was going to say, side note, happy Harassment Day.
It is Harassment Day.
Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
The Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
One of the best
Patrice O'Neill bits, yeah. Do you, when you're talking about just having to do stuff all the time and work, and Dave, you do it too, like you're on Fox News all the time, like you're just whatever. Do you guys ever get into this spot where you're like, I need to just do something good and disappear for a while? I need people to miss me. Or are you so afraid, like Jim said?
Oh, I've never even gotten
falling off the radar.
I'm more just terrified of. I feel like if I take a week off of comedy, everything I've ever done is lost.
Yeah,
so I don't think I can like for 1 second not. I feel like particularly where I'm at, I feel like whatever any set that I do, any radio show I do, anything, I feel pressure to like it's got to be really good and let everybody know because it's just it feels so like radio and comedy, all of it's such a competitive game. So I've never gotten to the point where I feel like I got to leave them wanting Dave Smith a little bit.
Yeah. What else do you do besides the Legion of Skanks?
I do like I worked for Sirius for Rush like part time, and then I do Fox News shows and stand up and stuff.
Okay, your podcast.
And my podcast, Part of the Problem. So like a political show.
And what do you got, Lewis? You have Legion of Skanks. You have your thing with Michael Bisping.
Yeah, the
which
Countdown
I like.
on Sirius XM Rush 93, and that was with the middleweight champion Michael Bisping. And then I have another podcast called Real Ass Podcast, and I run a podcast network called Gas Digital Network, which houses Legion of Skanks, Dave Smith's show. Also, Bruce Buffer has a show on our network. Jamie Josta.
I didn't know Bruce and Jamie were on your network. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Bruce does a good job. He's fucking. He's a good host.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a super interesting guy. He's also got like this crazy respect. He is an entrepreneur himself, but he has like a crazy respect for entrepreneurs. And like I love that world. I watch Shark Tank like a fucking asshole.
It's the best.
I literally Shark Tank like it's a soap opera. I've watched every episode. I watched every episode of the Australian Shark Tank, Dragon's Den, the Canadian version of Shark Tank.
Do you watch the show After the Tank or whatever it's
I'm not
called?
an asshole.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because there's no drama with
What's
that.
After the Tank?
They just show you like, look, now the products are in stores. Like it's
They
this.
go to Starbucks with a steady cam.
That's it. It's like the stupid sharks, and they're going through Bed Bath and Beyond. Like, remember? It was on the show, and you could buy it.
That's pretty fun, though.
I'm like, this now. Okay, now I got before you were kind of doing a TV show.
Yeah.
This one's just a commercial.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, what this? There's no.
But man, I guarantee you that show has great ratings because people are dumb as shit and they go, "Oh, the sharks," and they just keep it on.
And because every now and then there's one guy that was like, I got my deal, but it just didn't work out. And you're like, yes.
Yeah. I love watching their dreams come crashing. Sometimes they do the children episodes where they'll bring in children. And
I didn't know they were doing that.
They have a 12-year-old entrepreneur. Like, are you fucking crazy? Name one 12-year-old that's ever had a good idea ever.
As I'm getting older, I hate child entrepreneurs more and more.
Yeah.
Because every successful...
Just Sam kicking down lemonade stands.
Yeah, they're making money. They take pictures, they do little movies.
No, what?
Yeah.
It's not entrepreneurship.
Shirley Temple. Sure it is.
Oh, that's not business.
Yeah, the good ship Lollipop. You ever see that?
No, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, dance up and down the steps.
No. But it's like every single kid.
Uncle Paul, do you buy lemonade?
No, I make it into a cup. I like homemade lemonade.
Oh.
Hold this by your little tinky machine.
Isn't it a little tart sometimes?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, sometimes I would break the little flusher and I'd hide it in the urinal. And I'd take the cup out when he left. Glug, glug, glug.
It's terrible. I was talking about child entrepreneurs, not.
Yeah, me too. Give my nickel. There you go.
But every kid that's like makes money, like you always see like these like 15-year-olds that have been like, yeah, I'm making $1 million selling sneakers. All of them started with like a $200,000 thing from their dad or their mom. Like they all have rich parents.
Or a
that
small
were like,
loan of $1 million.
Yeah. Donald Trump Sr.
I was a child entrepreneur. I felt like that anyway, right? I remember
What'd you sell? You sold ass.
I was a prostitute, and I wasn't really making the money. I remember, dude, since I was a very young age, I always loved making money. I was always a kid with the lemonade stand. I was always a kid to go knocking on everyone's door and shoveling their snow or raking up their leaves. Always, right? And I would undercut the other kids. I would see them price themselves at $10 to shovel a driveway. I would price myself at $8. I was fucking thinking that way.
Like Undercutter's Pizza.
Yeah.
Is that not the most Hispanic thing you've ever heard in your life? It was just in his impulse.
Are you out of your mind?
Yes, I'm sorry that we observe how markets work.
Observe, you mean manipulate.
So my neighbor, when I was like 8 years old, 8 or 9 I had to be, my neighbor died, right? So a buddy in the neighborhood came up to me. He's like, yo, dude, this guy died and they're throwing out all of his shit. So we should go like get some of his stuff just to have. Like there was like a dartboard and like a poster of a half-naked chick. And it was like an entire house worth of like furniture and like just trinkets and shit like
Poster of a half-naked chick in the 90s that had some value
huge.
behind it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Huge. Okay. That was a big deal. I had that poster for years, by the way.
Yeah.
Years, up until I was like 15. So we went and grabbed all the stuff out of the garbage that he was throwing out. Me and this one kid, we moved it all over to my yard and put up signs all over the neighborhood that we're having a yard sale. This is when my mom was at work, right? We ended up, literally selling out of everything. We were kids, so 8 years old, like you think $10 is like a fucking $1 million. So we sold like a leather, like reclining chair for like $6. Like people were just taking us, like adults were coming and just taking us for all of this shit. And we made like $150 in an afternoon, and that was it. As soon as I did that, I was like, I love making money, and I worked.
I gotta start robbing people's houses.
Yeah. This is not killing my neighbors.
Yeah, this is an entrepreneurship.
This isn't a heartwarming story of entrepreneurship. This is horrible.
Yeah.
This is you removing someone's inheritance.
Yeah, you stole a dead lady's stuff, and then you sold it very undervalued.
So we pop out all his gold fillings, we sell that, and at that moment I knew.
Yeah, we put the suitcases in this room. Your luggage will meet you at the family camp.
This is the backstory to a Law and Order SVU character. Like this isn't the beginning of Tony Robbins. You know what I mean?
Yes. But I'm saying
every kid has a dead neighbor's house. You guys got to be going in their garages, finding their belongings, turning them over. You're the Gary V for Hispanics.
Then we rented out her pussy. Guys were climbing on and fucking her for $8.
Shit.
Yeah, I was an entrepreneur as a child and a thief.
No, I'm saying I ended up having this type of entrepreneurial spirit from that moment. It was like,
I think it's a lack of morals you're thinking of.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a cutthroat, like
yes.
Yeah, that's different.
By the way, Damon John from Shark Tank has the exact same origin story.
Yeah, I sold bootleg wrestling tapes when I was in high school.
Yeah, I love that you spent all those hours. He spent literally thousands of hours categorizing and saving wrestling stuff.
Like I used
and
to.
now there's that network, and all of your work is for nothing.
It was even before. Like it was just because I got obsessive. Even
so
after
you threw all that stuff out.
No.
Why?
You
should throw it out.
I have I won't throw it out. I have boxes of VHS tapes at my parents' house.
No, but they're not.
Just in the
not
closet,
necessary.
just in stacks.
Was it not that you recorded yourself? Like you bought the WWF's version,
and you used to sell them like zines, like Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Because my sister and me and myself,
I sold them on the internet. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, this is the internet. Okay, all right. Before there was the internet, me and my sister would buy like old WWF tapes, and like there was like these zines she would get.
Sure.
That would like come around, and we would like purchase like classic shit. VHS.
Like some of them I bought, but most of them I just tape them off pay-per-view or I tape the TV. Like literally every episode of TV, and then you just dub copies and sell them. Yeah.
I never sold them. I never had an entrepreneur spirit, but I used to tape wrestling all the time. Like I had a library of stuff that I had just taped.
Like
we didn't have a VCR.
It got so bad that I was, and this is how you know it was in my 20s. Like I was already working with Jim. That's how he knows about it.
You were married.
I was married. And I was DVRing Monday Night Raw, and I hooked up a DVD
if
recorder.
DVR technology existed, we've gone too far.
Way too far. I hooked up a DVD recorder to my DVR. And I was taping all the episodes of TV onto DVDs. So at my parents' house, I have boxes of tapes. And somewhere in my apartment is stacks of like those CD binders just full of DVDs.
Well, why don't you just put
all of which are now readily available?
You could probably package them all together. Okay, I know everything's readily available, but there's nerds like you that you could probably get like $80 for everything.
Well, because now like I've kind of a profile in that world. So people would be like,
it's not just anyone's.
You know, Sam Roberts is selling bootleg wrestling tapes. Like, you guys should probably be aware
What
of
else are you going to
this.
sell? Episodes of Lost or fucking things they could just grab off Netflix? What else you got for
That
sale?
whole game changed pretty quickly.
Yeah, it sure did.
It was like 2 years before all that stuff where people would still buy like a box set DVD for like $1,000.
Yeah.
And that literally just a couple years later they went, how about you could just have everything for $7?
Yeah.
Literally everything ever.
Right.
Yeah, it's
it
not
would be like this elaborate like box, and it would be big and everything, and you'd buy it and spend it. And now you can see it. They have them in Best Buy now. It's like the last vestiges of DVD technology. Like they sell it in just the slim case, and it's like 4 seasons, and it's $10.
Well, I have the guys that go on the subway now. They still sell them. The DVDs. They'll come and try to sell like bootleg copies of movies that are out in the theater. And I'm just like, buddy, do you not know the internet is out there?
Yeah.
How is your whole business model hawking DVDs right now?
Yeah,
I put myself through college selling Family Feud reruns. I had a family. I had the market cornered on Family Feud, the Dawson years.
Yeah.
It was a really, really big.
Did you spend a lot of time in college?
Yeah. My 3 years at Northwestern.
I'm just selling VHSs of cats chasing dogs around the yard.
Oh, that's adorable.
Would you just sell them internet videos?
Yes.
Soldiers being reunited with their puppies.
I have this whole
on
series.
VHS.
Yeah.
No, cats chasing dogs, and the DVD extras is every time that's spoiled by a car tire.
Bonus. But I mean, all the original stuff though, probably not with. I don't know. Probably not with DVDs. Possibly. But all the original like VHSs, if you have like collectible VHS things, there are still collectors that will buy that shit.
There are, but you don't have that. You have those.
No, I
old
got
wrestling
those too.
Things. No,
I got everything.
The wrestling things are no good.
Yeah, because pro wrestling fans don't purchase collectibles.
But it's all gettable. It's like saving something. I get the attraction, dude. I have old DVD stuff I put on DVD, like of my old sets from the cellar, and I still save the fucking VCR. The VHS. Why?
As opposed to just having it on a DVD or a hard drive.
Well, I'm afraid I'll lose it.
Right.
It's insanity.
Right.
It's like this weird. It's probably this fucking primal hunting gathering thing where you're afraid of running out in the winter. But it's so stupid. Just get rid of it. It's shit.
That whole show. What do they call it?
Hoarders.
Yeah, hoarders.
Right. It's all the same
You're
thinking.
hoarding. You have a psychological disorder. Sir.
Yeah. You're hoarding.
I can walk around my house really easily.
You can, yeah, but
it's not a problem.
No, but your parents can't. Your parents are swimming through VHS.
They're crazy too, though. They're crazy too. They have his hair hoarded from when he was a boy.
Well, that's like one thing.
Hey, you guys want to check out the first ever Royal Rumble? It's under those dead cats. If you can move those over.
Yeah, behind those fucking CVS bags of human waste. Yeah, shit into a bag and there's the Royal Rumble.
But you wouldn't say dead cats. You'd be like, I don't know. I haven't seen Fifi in a little while. I think she's just eating her.
Dude, my favorite thing about them is they'll be
cat skeletons.
They're such disturbed people that they're not really, like, half the time they're not on board with the whole process. They're like, we're going to clean up your house. And they're like, all right. And then they have this whole force of people working for free. Right. To be like, oh, we'll clean up your house. And they'll be like, here's an earring. And they're like, where's the other one? They're pissed off at you for cleaning out.
I can't throw that out. Those are my catalogs.
I pitched Hoarders before Hoarders existed.
To who?
It was a different show.
Okay.
It was like that. It was people who are hoarders. And what you do is you start on one end of the house and you smoke them out like bees. And then when they run out, you have something that they trip over. And you ever see the end of Apocalypto? How that fucking that spike swung into that guy's chest? That'd be a great way to end every Hoarders episode, where they get smoked out like bees and then impaled.
So you start going a different way.
Yeah, I start ending with really great. Their family
it's a similar
applauding.
concept.
Come on out, and then they run out and they trip. And that thing just fucking puts a fucking nice spike into their chest.
Dude, I have everything. I mean, my parents they have no closets free. I don't think like everything. Every old T-shirt I ever bought, everything.
Those
is there.
I get though. Those I understand. Like, I'm a collector, so I get all that. I don't throw anything out. But the stuff that's been taped off TV that you can get, that's just freeing up space because you don't need it.
But you know what? You know what though? You know what always catches me? I'll start that process. Like, okay, I'm going to get rid of this, and then I'll like look at one. And I'll be like, oh wait. the original commercials are on this one.
That's kind of cool.
And it's a retro thing, and then you're like, you know what?
He makes a point.
There is something to this. This is reliving the experience.
How often are you watching it, though?
I mean, I'm not even at my parents' house that often.
Never.
I don't even. Yeah, I think I might have a VCR over at my parents' house that I could hook up to a TV.
The commercials are kind of an attractive thing. I understand that.
Yeah,
well, you can probably get all those commercials on YouTube, guaranteed.
That's true.
It's a whole but now
there's a whole process. Unlike going to your parents' house with a truck and sifting through hundreds of VHS tapes,
and then you put one in, and you're like, oh, I erased the commercials on this. I forgot. I hit pause. No, it's like it's the whole process of you're watching it. If you watch it on VHS, the way you taped it off TV, then you're reliving the experience of how you watched it. The Silk Stockings commercial
and while
comes
you're beating
on.
off to Sunny, you're like, oh, look at that, Downey.
This is just like I used to beat off to her.
Silk Stockings commercial?
Yeah.
What was that? When you first tried them on? How comfortable they are? Felt good on your penis?
No, I've never experienced that.
I have.
I know you have.
Thigh highs, though, not stockings. I'm not a queer.
No, it was the old show that used to come on after Monday Night Raw.
I swear to God, I thought it was a product.
No.
Well, remember there was USA Up All Night?
Yep.
Rhonda Shear. I used to beat off to Rhonda Shear.
She was
crazy,
a part of
she's
one.
disgusting.
She used to come into the WWF or WWE,
it was like
whatever
a
it was.
cross promo thing for USA, though.
And then they Quantum Leap used to come on after some USA. I can't remember.
Who's that guy?
William Shatner did something. He did some kind of bad sci-fi show, like Tech War or something like that. But it wasn't Quantum Leap.
Sam Beck?
Scott Bakula.
That's why his name. We're having him in, aren't we?
Are we having Scott Bakula in here? Why?
He said why? I hope not.
Yeah, I guess.
Am I making that up, Travis?
I'll talk to him. Is Scott Bakula booked, Scott?
Didn't we
Travis?
have him like months ago?
Oh, we did have him. Right. Okay, I thought so.
You already interviewed him, and you were like, "Isn't he coming in one day?"
No,
yeah,
but then we had him in.
ago.
Okay, no, but I remembered something with Quantum Leap. Okay,
let's go to Paul in Jersey. If you want to call the show, it's 866-969-1969. Luis J. Gomez. And,
I like your respect to my culture.
Yes.
Luis J. Gomez is here.
Dave Smith.
Dave Smith
from Legion of Skanks. Not from the Bonfire, but from Legion of Skanks.
Big J took a powder. Yeah, right now him and Damn Soder.
Damn Soder.
Yeah, they're massaging each other.
They're adults.
Couple of men.
He's moved on.
Yeah, he's rubbing Jay's backside doing voices.
Paul in Jersey.
Yay.
Okay.
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's up, buddy?
Hi, Paul.
Hey Jim, you really have a lot of your old material, especially when you first started. Yes. I think that would make for hell of a special on your website.
Do you know?
Just so people could see. Let me finish, and I mean this in all sincerity, just so how people can see how you've grown as a comedian and how much you've evolved.
I was so awful when I started. I don't have as much. I have a lot of my old sets from the Comedy Cellar from like 2000, 2001, 2002. I was looking recently for the right after 9/11 stuff.
Yeah.
That type of stuff I would be interested in seeing, but I'm so much of my old stuff I didn't tape, unfortunately. There's no video of me when I was a kid. There's no...
But there's audio?
No. Just a couple photos.
Just nothing.
Nah, there's nothing, man. My family didn't have fucking any video equipment. I wish there was. But yeah, I could look for some of that. When I went to Cuba with Jeff Ross, we did the thing for the troops in Cuba. And some guy there said he had a videotape of me from like 1993 when I did something. And I saw it. I used to wear this shirt on stage. It said blah, 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 blah. It was like some weird phone company shirt that I thought was the coolest thing ever.
Was it?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
And 1993 that was from. I was awful.
You were doing stand-up in 93
I started in 1990.
Wow, I didn't know you were doing that long.
So you have video of you in 93?
Yes. Well, that was the one when we did the famous in 2002. We were roasting each other on Opie and Anthony. We roasted my stuff. It was Patrice, Colin, Voss. It might have been Mercurio or somebody else that ripped me apart, and then we did Voss's old tape, and Patrice never brought his in, I don't think. So we would roast each other.
It was just always great.
Yeah.
Patrice just was always
he was shitty. When he he wasn't as shitty as I was, but he was not good. And he thought he was good, which was very funny.
He's right. You could probably sell that on your website. Just sell
It was so. Dude, it's so humiliating.
Yeah.
It was me in '93 at Rascals in New Jersey, and this other one was from someplace in North Jersey, like Hackensack. Same material, but I was like, "How we doing?" I was like, all happy-go-lucky. It's repulsive.
Yeah, nothing's gonna. Even if like I'm sure the callers, right? Like there are probably fans of yours who know your stuff very well that would love to see your older stuff. But I'd imagine from your perspective, like no comics are so critical of their own stuff, especially your old stuff. That's like
we did that on Legion of Skanks. We brought in our old tapes, and Dave. I mean, watching Dave Smith in his first like 2 months of comedy.
Not good.
Oh, there's a tape. Oh yeah, it's a tape of me about I think a month or 2 months in comedy, and it's having a bad set. So I mean, it's going bad, and me not prepared to deal with it.
Feign confidence. Like he was broken within a minute of the set. Like just slowly pitter pattering through his jokes to the end. It was so uncomfortable.
I have the oldest tape I have, and I've never gotten the whole tape. Unfortunately, it was a set I did in Rascals West Orange for the Bud Light comedy competition. And I was 21, and it was 19 April. I want to say it was I was doing comedy 6 months, and it was me. And I used to just leave the mic in the stand, and I kind of talk like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, oh, it was so.
You would put voices on?
Not necessarily. You didn't know who you were yet.
It wasn't voices. Guido.
Yeah, in a way. Oh my God, I can't listen to this, but that's what that was.
We could listen to it.
No,
I would love to hear it.
I'll listen to 1 second.
Or you want to do the Jennifer Aniston?
That's the whole bit.
Oh yeah, that's from 2010.
Yeah. Find a nice clip of one of Jim's jokes.
Because I think when you first start, at least I know I did, a lot of people when they first start stand-up, you almost have this feeling of like, well, what would a comedian sound like? Like even if you have a funny idea, you're like, well, how would a comedian tell this? And eventually you realize like you can just talk.
I'm just getting out of that habit. Like I finally stopped, after 26 years, I finally stopped going, "Hello!"
But it's so funny because comedy is like the only thing where it's like, it's the only thing where you start off being completely exposed when you fucking suck. Like if you're a professional actor, a dancer, anything else in the world, you're not going to be exposed to an audience until you're ready. Comedy is the opposite. Day one, I mean, you can do open mics, I guess, but honestly, you start to jump in on regular shows very quickly, and you have to crawl out of a hole of fucking sucking. Everyone has to crawl out of this hole of sucking, and it's this weird thing. It's surprising that there's this many people that actually want to do it, considering how much it sucks in the beginning.
Well, a lot of people drop off, though, in the beginning.
Yes, they do.
Like, most people don't hang through that stage of sucking because they don't realize that stage exists. Like, they're watching Netflix, you know what I mean, and being like, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
And they get on and they try it, and they're like, ugh.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Do you like, when I think of the people I started with, like some of them are dead, but most of them just dropped out. Like they just stopped after 5 years, and then after 10 years,
that's
12
brutal.
years.
To stop after that long?
Dude, so many of them quit.
Well, your whole life
or got
is
married.
Stand-up. Your whole social circle. Like, I'm not friends with anybody. I mean, I'm friendly with my old friends from high school and stuff, but I'm not friends with anybody who doesn't go through what I have like 4 or 5 friends. They're all comics. We all sit there on the phone talking shit about other comedians. We all talk shit about the business and how it sucks. And, that's a thing that only, if I try to call my buddy who's working a fucking 50-hour work week, like in Parks and Recs in Rockland County, and try to bitch to him about how telling jokes isn't going the way that I want it to go, he would tell me to go fuck myself. We're not in the same thing.
Right.
We have a gang of comics that talk on the phone. We call it the 5 Buckaroos. And we just get on the phone and we riff and we try bits. Me, Colin, and Bobby is the other 3. Dude, I want to be a buckaroo, dude.
Dude, I do want to be a buckaroo. And he's got 3 personalities. Dude, I don't know. Seems cool.
Yeah, we just talk, and 5 buckaroos get on the phone and just riff. I'm like, what do you think about this? And I do my whole Trump voice, and they're really supportive.
Do you do a good Trump?
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
Let me hear.
You're fired!
Oh, my God. That's like
I open it and I close with it on the road.
That's
I open
terrific.
up like, guess who won the election? People are like, this guy's going to be good.
It's not just a good impression, it's what you do with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Crazy
It's just different.
Yeah. I'll look at find a blonde in the audience. I'll be like, you look like Hillary, you're fired. Place goes
That's
crazy.
really funny.
This guy's good.
That's really funny. You're not going for the low-hanging fruit on that one.
No, not at all.
Trump comes back from the future as the Terminator to find a young Eddie Furlong. Go.
Oh, look at you, Eddie. I'm back and you're fired.
That's so good. That's so...
Told you I'd be back. Not nice. New York Times is fired.
Yeah. It's good because he's still doing the fired thing.
Yeah.
That's still a topical
Well, that's
reference.
the core. That's the core.
That's
You
what
build
I do.
around that.
I have the audience yell out things, and then Trump just pops up. They go, people go bananas.
That's important.
They go bananas. Fucking go crazy.
I like that, Lewis. Like you couldn't leave. Like if you had that moment where like some people after 10 or 12 years just quit stand up.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't do that because everything feeds itself. So you would have to decide to quit.
Life. I'd have to kill myself.
Everything. You'd have to quit comedy and quit radio and quit podcasting and quit running a podcast network.
And break up with your girlfriend because you can't date someone who's doing comedy if you just quit. It's too painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably won't be able to take care of your kid anymore. You're going to have to get rid of him. I just want to peel other things away from your life.
She's going to have to start fucking me in the ass.
What do you mean start? That's rule number one when you get involved with Jim Norton. You see that belt? Put it on, bitch!
Yeah, I thought about that. If I quit comedy, I would literally have
disappoint
to
8 people.
I would be, if you ever watch Better Call Saul, in like the opening scene of the first episode, like he's working at like a
pretzel thing.
Cinnabon or a pretzel factory. That's what I'd have to do. I have to grow a beard, go to like the Midwest somewhere, get a job in a mall, and just disappear.
And not even announce it. Just not show up for every podcast one day.
Do you ever like? I don't know if it's the same for you, like in radio. If you know people who have like quit or were aspiring to like make it, and then. But for you, Joe, I'm curious. Like for me, it's almost like I feel very sad when if there's someone like I run into who like quit comedy, and this is just completely my own projection because they could leave and like find a happier life. But to me, it's just like, oh, dude, it's so tragic. Especially if it's someone who's funny or talented at all who quit.
Not too long ago, I had lunch with somebody who I was like, we were kind of doing the same thing, and he left. And he kind of had this thing, like when you leave, you forget how hard it was. And so it's been years. It's been 6 or 7 years. And like there was no sort of like, I decided to leave and I'm happier for it because I didn't have to put up with that for 6 or 7 years. He just sees now what 6 or 7 years has done. And you could just see it in his eyes and the way he talked. Like it was like sad. Like I didn't even want to be there because I was like, dude, like I don't know what to tell you because there's no going back. Like if you'd like, let me jump back into this. It's like, yeah, but you still need to make up all that time.
Well, because they see the progress of somebody who didn't stop. So I feel sad for them.
Yeah, me too.
And it makes me very grateful. Like as much as I've bitched them, I'm really fucking grateful.
And it reminds
you, lucky you didn't quit. Thank you for not letting me quit.
It reminds you too where you're at because you can look at people because when you're in the position that you're in, you're constantly looking at people that are more successful than you, and you just think you've been stagnant.
Sure, it's everyone I know.
Right.
And I think you nailed it when you said the thing, like, it's like the first few years, which technically speaking, you have the least in the first few years, but you're kind of inspired to be in it.
They're
it's
great.
Fun. You're young. You're a dreamer.
Plus,
it's
everything's
easy.
possible.
What's difficult, exactly. You're like, oh, this could all work out.
Right.
Unbelievable. What's difficult is those kind of middle years when people around you start getting stuff.
Right.
You've been in this for a while, and when people bail out of that, it's exactly what you said. You're like, man, that sucks, but you bailed out of the really shitty years.
Right.
And those are the ones you got to put in. It's easy to look at anybody. I mean, there's a few people who just take off right away, but pretty much everybody who's got a really great career in radio or comedy went through a really tough time. Usually they grinded.
It's the exception to the rule if you take off in a few years. People look at people like Pete Davidson or Michael Che who got fairly, I don't want to say easy paths because they're talented dudes, but they didn't have the same type of trials and tribulations that most successful comics have. Most successful comics put in 10, 15, 20 years of fucking hell
before they make $1.
But the best advice I ever got was just keep showing up. That was the best advice I ever got in comedy. Just whenever you feel like shit and you feel like you want to quit, you don't want to show up, just fucking go to a show. Show up at a comedy club. Go do your thing. And it was by Joey Gay, who I think quit. But either way, I don't know if but I haven't seen him around in a while. But it really was some of the best advice ever because me and Dave talk all the time. You'll have now it's gotten a lot easier as you start getting a certain amount of success. But you go through years of fuck, dude, I'm doing this is this a hobby? What the hell am I doing? Then you have to just show up. No matter what you're feeling, just show up.
It's also really good when you start putting in more and more of those really shitty years. You see the people, because like when you're in your early 20s or whatever, like when I was in my early and mid 20s, that's when I started seeing other people succeed quick. real quick.
He was watching other dudes just stacking up VHSs. You're like, dude, I can do this better than anyone.
I'm sitting there, I'm hitting record. I don't. You can't record faster than I'm recording. How's he doing it?
He's got help. He's got 2 TVs.
It's considered cheating in the VHS sales community.
His girlfriend is hitting pause. He didn't have the goddamn commercial. He's saving VHS space.
Well, of course, his dad's going to buy him 3 VCRs.
Piece of shit. He's buying his tapes.
Sam in the open mic.
Yeah.
In the open mics of VHS bootleg
tapes.
Yeah, like in Officer and a Gentleman, you realize he's hiring someone to polish the shoes. You're like, oh, you piece of garbage. Oh, Mayo.
You got to understand, back then it wasn't about the money. It was just the love of VHS recording.
Right.
And then...
Well, you got to show up, though. It's like at the end of every 5 Buckaroos call, we say Buckaroos.
Shut up about these Buckaroos.
The only way to be in it is to win it is to be in it. And that's the way the 5 Buckaroos, we all say that and then hang up.
But what I was going to say...
You, Bobby, and Colin.
I forgot Bobby was 3 of them.
Got 2 Buckaroos.
Yeah, of course.
On the line.
Of course. It's the 5 Buckaroos.
Yeah, we're just swapping joke ideas and stories and tales of the road. Hey, Kyle, how was Syracuse? And he'll tell a funny upstate story, and I'll say, why don't you incorporate that into your routine?
Bob, you should record, or Jimmy, you should record those calls and put them on your album as bonus special.
That would be great. Yeah, the 5 Buckaroos riffing.
Right.
We'll make each other laugh. That's what we do. We're very supportive.
We're doing podcasting before it was podcasting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for each other.
Sure.
But the thing that helps is when you start seeing people that got successful early start to fail. And then you're like, oh,
that's a real interesting one.
So I could have gotten it quick, but it's just starting here, and it would have been over already.
Yeah, there were a lot of guys like that who, so like when I started comedy, were maybe like the guys who were passed at all the clubs, who we would really look up to, and then when the internet thing kind of exploded and getting your own fans and like podcasts, and none of that stuff really existed when we started.
Yeah. Dane had a lot to do with that. Dane was
the first guy. He was the first guy who blew up off that stuff. Yeah. And then everybody started imitating it. But now it's weird. There will be guys like that who were like, the first couple of years in, I was looking up to like, this guy's incredible, and that you look at those guys now, I'm like, they're not doing anything. And younger guys have, the guys like Pete Davidson, who was like a kid, is now, just levels.
Because it's like you still, like, no matter what level you're on, you still have to do the work. Like, you still just have to keep plugging. So it's like a Pete Davidson could, even though he's skyrocketed, could just keep plugging and be fine.
Well, that's why guys like Attell and Colin and those guys are so we all have so much respect for them because they all like grew with the times. Like all those guys could have at any point just stopped and been kind of like, oh, okay. And you'll still see like Attell working out some new bit about some new music video that's out today, and he just keeps growing with the new generation.
Well, we call it. That's what we refer to that as the pyramid of jocularity. As far as people who
calls it that.
The Buckaroos.
Obviously.
The pyramid.
What do you mean?
Silly question.
The pyramid of jocularity. As far as rising and boom, boom, and the cream rise. It's cream rise to the top. We say that a lot.
Oh, that's so. I haven't even heard that before.
Yeah,
but I guess when you think of a beverage, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's really
and
interesting.
if somebody falls, like what one of the Buckaroos will say is, well, looks like the pyramid was turned upside down. And we know what that means.
Wow. You don't even have to explain it to each other?
No, we understand that.
Wasn't it the Buckaroos said it's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up?
No.
Stupid.
That's not even close to true.
We never said that.
No.
Exactly.
No.
Not at all.
No. Are you upset that you guys at the Legion of Skanks don't have that kind of Buckaroo camaraderie where you're helping each other the way these guys are?
Well, all I know is if the Buckaroos were booked on Jim and Sam in the morning,
absolutely,
all five Buckaroos
absolutely.
Would be there.
Yeah. 5 Buckaroos, 3 chairs, one a little bigger, but just 3 chairs.
Yeah. Oh shit! I think the Legion of Skanks are breaking up.
You think so?
I think so.
Could be. Could be. It's all that fucking pretty girl at the prom, Dan Soder, who spoiled everything.
Yeah. He's our Yoko.
He is, right?
He came in and,
he spoiled everything. So when Dan Soder is on Legion of Skanks now, is it almost like you guys are like, I thought this was our show too?
We don't show up.
We'll have fun. I'll just say
let them
things
do the show.
at the beginning. I'll be like, do you guys need me to talk, or you guys got this on your own? You guys are just going to do a lot of voices?
No, just take it. And you're like, okay, fine.
It's just kind of like watching the bonfire, except you're the kindling. Ties in nicely?
It ties up. It's very insulting. You know,
I don't mean it like that.
You can't start a bonfire without kindling.
That's true.
Sam, why don't you look at the glass as being half full?
But you ever
because it's cum, he wants it to be totally full.
A full glass of cum.
Yeah, it's a lot of cum.
That's got to be more than one guy's cum.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
it would take months.
Yeah, true. No, not if there's only a few guys. Maybe some might have a little yellow tint.
Oh, by the way, this happened yesterday morning. I was jerking off, and I got way too into it, so I started going like, ooh, like making it really get into the fantasy.
Was anybody with you?
No, I was by myself.
Okay.
And when I shot my load, it shot directly into the hole of my mouth.
Really?
Awesome.
It was.
Did you swallow?
You didn't have a balloon in your nose.
I know exactly. If there was a balloon in my head, it would pop.
Lewis was making an ooh, like he's like
it's a carnival game with
Everybody wins.
It was the worst. It was the worst. And no, I didn't swallow it. I started spitting on my own chest.
Yeah. Because the problem with cum, and what I've heard, is it makes you do that a lot.
Is that right?
Yeah. I've heard. For some people.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh, I see.
Be a problem.
Yeah.
I see.
Sorry to side note that, but it just reminded me.
So you spit it on your chest?
I spit it on my own chest.
Why were you going, ooh?
Because I got into the fantasy. You know, you're just like...
What was the fantasy?
I was watching porn, but you know how you kind of go like, ooh, baby, yeah.
I just picture Lewis has like two faces. Like, remember Saddam Hussein on South Park? Like, it's just normal, and then ooh. And then he hit the jizz on the
just
ooh
a photo,
shot.
and then it just changes.
Yeah, ooh.
Were you naked?
Yeah, I was naked.
So you were nude, and just really, you were feeling yourself.
I was jerking off.
Yeah.
Because, when I come onto my stomach and chest.
Absolutely.
Like, that's the way I shoot it. A lot of guys don't do that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how to, they shoot at their legs, they get it on their bed. I don't know what the whole...
I have video of myself one time. A girl wanted to see me come, so I have a black face towel that I put on my and I just gave a
black face towel?
A black, like a
he uses to wipe off his blackface.
Yeah, I got it from aljolson.com. I got the Ted Danson Christmas special.
This bit will never get old. Huh?
No, it was a black towel, and because I wanted a nice contrast, and I just blurted some cum onto it. It's a really lazy cum. Wasn't even.
So you laid the thing on your chest?
Yeah, my stomach, just for the contrast.
Sometimes, I'll be honest with you. When I'm masturbating, I enjoy the fantasy. So I would never in the fantasy of actually fucking, I would never put a towel on my stomach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I really get into I'll grab the ass, like I'm doing little air grab the ass.
Lewis's jerk offs have to be believable. If you're not selling it,
so you're miming.
You're pantomiming.
I do. I pantomime make out with the air. We've talked about this plenty of times on Legion of Skanks. I'll kiss the air while I'm masturbating because I get into my fantasy.
Just fucking jerk off real quick and be done with it.
That's not just beating off into a sock. Like how do you mentally get there? How can you even come?
You just watch some porn, you beat off,
and you're watching yourself beat off into a sock.
I don't look in the mirror.
Look
in a mirror.
Me. It's the last thing I do.
I also can't come unless I'm looking in a mirror.
Is that right?
No.
How do you guys even get into it if there's not a load in the mouth at the end?
That's a good point. That's a great point.
How did I not get hard again? That's the thing. It's a cycle. You just keep on coming in your mouth and getting hard.
Yeah, I like making smoochy sounds while I come. No, I'm dead silent. My fucking feet pointed out. It's disgusting.
Are you thrusting your pelvis as well?
Yeah, dude, I get into my masturbation.
Air humping?
Yeah. Yeah,
so strange.
Yeah, it's awful.
No.
It's like, why?
I feel like everybody is not masturbating properly.
No, you're the one who's doing it wrong.
I think that I'm progressive. I think I'm way ahead of the curve.
You're doing it like a theater student. Like
I climb a rope. And
you're a mime. It's very strange.
Yeah.
My jerk offs are quick and lazy and
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Do you lay on your back?
No, I just sit.
You just sit there?
I sit.
Where do you blow a load?
I tilt back.
Okay.
But it really, I don't have a lot of distance.
Do you watch porn?
Yeah, I watch porn. But I don't have a lot of distance, so it kind of just gurgles out.
Oh no, you come just kind of
like
fucking...
a volcano, like a.
No, like The Exorcist when she's just slowly vomiting the pea soup out the side of the mouth.
It's like a 6th grade volcano science project.
Oh man,
you know what I mean? How it just kind of at some point it just gurbles and then it just falls over the edges.
It's a little disappointing. Just like that. It's like I expected a real badass volcano,
but there's no show to it whatsoever. You're just like, well, I guess it's cool that it's coming out.
But here's the thing. I think if I masturbated that way once I came, I would want to kill myself because I would feel so pathetic. If I make it a whole thing and I get into the fantasy and I really treat myself right, I feel like it's almost...
If it ended that way, you would want to kill yourself. Your story starts with it ending with you banging a load right in your mouth.
I know, that gives you that inspires you to live another day.
The fact that so much of your self-worth, is wrapped up in masturbatory habits.
Well, we all masturbate every day. Stop acting like you don't. You masturbate just as much as I do, Sam.
I don't masturbate every day.
You're a liar.
Yeah, I don't
masturbate every day.
If I'm like regularly having sex with a chick, I'll masturbate much less than every day nowadays.
Yeah.
If I don't masturbate every day, and I have a girlfriend, if I don't masturbate every day, I will want to fuck nonstop. I have a crazy libido.
You do?
Yeah, dude. We have fucked like in public. I fucked her on a cop car recently.
Is that right?
On top of a cop car.
On top of a cop car?
Yeah.
Like
Where
on the hood?
was this?
In Gramercy at like 8 p.m. in the summer.
So it's still light out.
It was light out.
Wait, and there's just people all around, and you fucked on top of a cop car?
No, we didn't. There was no people around at that point, but like it was very dangerous, and that got me going. So if I don't jerk off, I will have like crazy thoughts like that all the time.
Oh, I would never do the cop car thing. You're probably looking at like a serious charge.
Yeah,
absolutely. How hot is that? How hot is that we fucked?
Not at all.
Was it
I
quick?
know. It was Adam 3. God damn it.
I wanted to I still don't know what the joke meant.
I mean, there's a show called, it used to be Adam 12, so it's implying you have a small dick. So I said Adam
What year
3.
was the show?
Wow.
Old show.
We'll be right back with WWF Raw.
Yeah.
So Adam 12.
Adam 12.
Adam 12, yeah.
You just sounded like an experienced comic talking to the young guys. Hey, you ever watch Adam 12? Got any jokes about that in your
You
set?
don't remember Adam 12?
No.
Travis?
No.
Adam
Nice.
12.
Come on, guys.
You ever heard of it?
1968 to 1972.
It ended in 1972.
I just remember the show. I know, wait, but the show. So what?
I saw it.
I never watched My Favorite Martian, but I know it existed.
It was a 4-year-old show from the 70s.
Yeah, and it's not even like the famous one. Dragnet would have been the reference.
I understand Dragnet. I've heard of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Adam 12.
Hawaii 5-0. You could have said Hawaii 3-0.
Oh, wait a minute. Go
Right.
back. Adam 12 again. 68 to 75.
Now
7 years.
We're inching closer.
Yeah, to 75.
I was a boy. I was born in 68 for Pete's sake. Adam 12 would come on. I'd watch it like a boy.
None of us were born in 1975.
I know that. Hopefully you won't be alive in 2017.
That's next year.
I know.
Adam fucking 3.
Yeah.
Lady Trucker has a question actually for Louis J. Gomez.
What up, motherfucker?
Hey,
Hello,
lady.
madam.
Gentlemen.
Hey.
Hey, that would be fatherfucker. Louis J. Gomez, do you take yourself on a date and light candles before you masturbate?
Do you light candles before you masturbate?
No, but there is a little more prep involved than like just grabbing my dick and starting to tug on it.
See, literally, like when I jerk off, it's like I'm doing something and somehow I stumble onto porn and be like, oh, I should just jerk off right now. I've got the 10 minutes or whatever it is. And then just jerk off, clean off in the bathroom, back to what I was doing before.
Attaboy.
That's it.
That's
functional.
easier. That's a better way to be.
It's much better.
I was jerking off last night. My dick wasn't even hard. Like, what am I doing?
There's no reason
Stop
for
it.
it.
I know.
Why didn't you try to develop a hobby for yourself?
Anything would be healthier.
Yeah.
If I was eating thumbtacks, that'd be healthier than my jerk off habits.
You know what you should start doing? Recording wrestling TV with the VCR tapes.
Dude, it couldn't be any worse than what I'm doing. I'm literally jerking off. My dick is it's like abuse, and I'm not horny.
Why are you doing it?
Exactly.
That's it. Just compulsion.
I stopped. A girl asked me, she wanted me to send my picture with my dick hard, but I couldn't get my dick hard because I wasn't horny.
Oh, I there's
and plus,
nothing...
I was putting fucking weather stripping on my windows.
Just
I
go
had
back
to send her a picture of my weather stripping. She's like, what are you
never
doing?
have as much trouble keeping a boner as when a girl asks for a dick pic, and you just feel that pressure that it's got to be like maximum boner,
the best
and
boner.
take it.
Yeah.
And every time I feel like it's just I can never keep it at good for I don't know.
No,
I
whenever
just get one off the internet and send it to her. She doesn't fucking know.
She doesn't know.
they have no idea.
How would she know?
Black.
I have older. I feel like I'm lying.
Just 3 of them next to each other.
When a girl says, send me your dick now, I feel guilty that there's a timestamp in there that they can find. Oh, that's from last year. It's the same dick.
Oh, is there a timestamp on photos?
I know, but there can be in some of them. I don't know. I
So
just
you take
panic.
new photos every time.
A lot I do.
You should just have one photo.
I have a bunch. What do you
Let me
send-
say, Jim, can I see some?
What do you want to send one to the same fucking send one to the same girl?
I guess because the girls need more and more and more.
Yeah.
What are they collecting?
Yeah.
I feel like half the time they don't even want it. They just want if they want to send you one, they want to have one of you too.
A little
to, like,
collateral.
yeah.
Yeah. But Jim's got like a fucking cell phone full of them, so it's terrible collateral. It's valueless.
Yeah, I don't. Even that game, it kind of just bores me. It's like I'll try to get nude pictures from girls. I'll always be asking for a nude picture, and the amount of time that the transactions take to convince her, and fucking she's asking you for one, and don't show your friends. I've jerked off 3 times the porn already.
Right.
Like if I'm horny in that moment, I'm not going to fucking play this tease game. I'm at home alone. I want to jerk off. You know.
Plus, I hate the whole having to convince thing. Like, I like the idea it just pops up because she wants to so badly.
That kind of turns me on a little bit to have to
convince.
A lot of them are afraid of it living on the internet. That's all. They're afraid that it's going to, come back to haunt them. Or there's always a little, but I don't like begging for it either, man. I'm just like, if you don't want to send it, don't.
Right.
Don't.
I like that somebody wants to.
I like literally when a girl gives me her phone. Let's say this is a game we used to play all the time. I don't know if this is even illegal, but we'll ask them for their phone. We're like, oh yeah, my phone's. I can use your phone, and then immediately you just go through all their naked photos and then email them to yourself.
What is she? How dumb is the girl?
We used to play this game called Hold Her Down While She Screams Now. And I don't know, technically speaking, it might have been outside the law.
It's a party game.
That has the moral, your party game has the moral integrity of your entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
Like, you're a terrible person.
How do you do that? But how do you do it when you're supposed to be on the phone and you're pressing buttons?
Dude, I did that.
It's a horrible invasion.
No, you got to pretend to be sending a text.
You'll be hanging out. She'll start talking to your buddies. She's fucking turns around. I did this one time with an Asian girl at a bar. I sent the naked picture to myself. And by the way, she knew what was going on. She saw me looking at her naked pictures, right?
So she liked it a little.
So she liked it a little. It's a game. You let her know. Once you get the naked pictures, you show them that that's what you're doing, and then it's a flirty thing.
Can I tell you, by the way, I play this game except without the creepy part where Lewis sends him to himself, but I will do this.
What's the point of using mental image, Dave?
Right.
But it's just a funny thing to, like, if you literally, like I'll do it sometimes, like, in front of the girl, be like, okay, see your phone for a second, and then right away just hit photos. And I'll tell you, it is amazing the percentage of women who, if you hit photos, are just naked pictures.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like,
really?
80% shot.
I played that game with my family. Ma, you got to make a call?
Hey, Mom, let me just see your phone real quick.
Oh, it's awful.
One of our interns had a cousin who was a prostitute in the Dominican Republic, and she was hot. And I was like, let me see a photo. And so this idiot doesn't have photos on his phone, so he gives me his phone with a Facebook album. So every photo, it's his cousin. I just started going through all of them, writing comments like, so sexy, so fucking hot, liking everything. God damn, I want to fuck you. Like,
which one? Who is this?
Hot dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What did you do? Started getting messages back immediately. But that's not like, that's like a prank. Like yours,
funny,
Lewis,
man.
is more like real close to sexual assault.
Yeah.
No,
it's just
inappropriate, wrong,
really inappropriate.
Well, no, they say what's her name? What's the actress, the famous one who got her stuff released?
Jennifer.
Yes. Jennifer Lawrence.
Edie McClure.
Yes. She hot pictures, by the way. But she said
Adam 12.
No. She was supposed to be on Adam 12, but I couldn't improv there. I just stopped.
It's all good.
That was a period in the middle of my improv. Ta-da! The curtain just dropped on me.
That's a great reference for naked pictures. Like Edie McClure.
Oh yeah. Shit. Yeah. Well, she said it should be a crime.
No, she said I'm the victim of sexual assault, of a sex crime.
She's not. It's more robbery.
Yeah, exactly. It's a weird thing to say you're a victim of a sex crime.
Really, but it's not even robbery. I mean, is it robbery?
That's a real invasion, man.
It's an invasion.
Real invasion.
You're stealing our photos.
Did you guys, did you guys look at the photos?
I don't know if I've seen. Somebody sent me some of them, but no, I didn't see most of them. To be honest, the ones I did see were sent to me, and I'm not saying that like as to like admonish, wash myself, but it's just scummy to go in there and steal somebody's shit like that. It's terrible.
Well, I agree. I think the big screen because they're up there.
It's the same thing as like breaking into someone's office and stealing their files or something like that. It's like the same shit, basically.
It's really personal.
Except I can't jerk off to their files.
Can you though?
Maybe.
She's great though. Look at her.
Pete Townsend file you could.
By the way, she's got more out of this deal than she lost because I'm a fan of hers now. People were kind of like,
are you going to see her movies?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I bet you're.
I'm a member of the Jennifer Lawrence fan club.
I'm a fan of hers now, which means you Google image her and jerk off. Like, oh yeah, I'm so glad. Do you know I wasn't jerking off to you before the fappening?
People were lukewarm on Jennifer Lawrence before the fappening, and now all of a sudden, everyone's talking about her. She's a household name.
Wasn't she an Oscar winner before that?
Yeah,
she won for Silver Linings
She
Playbook.
wasn't doing nothing.
She's in 3 David O. Russell movies in a row.
Every time I'm trying to make a point, here comes Jim with his facts.
Yeah,
I don't need it.
She's in the movie Joy, and it was just her on the poster.
But don't you feel like after she won that Oscar, she was like, I've achieved a lot, but I don't feel like Louis J. Gomez is jerking off to me.
That's right. No, I can't jerk off to these movie posters.
She won the Oscar, and then she took the old Timothy Hutton route right down the fucking toilet.
Look at her.
Remember Timothy Hutton? No?
I want to be with the
God
references.
damn all of you. He won for Ordinary People. He beat out Pesci and fucking Raging Bull. Probably deservedly
But
so.
also the fappening, it actually it desensitized everyone to naked celebrity pictures. I don't even care anymore.
I do.
So that thing, here's the thing. You know, like with Batman, where they had to say Batman killed the mayor or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah. Remember? That was part of the plot for the good of Gotham.
Yes, it's not the hero that you want, it's the one you deserve, whatever it is. Yes, I know exactly.
This is what the happening is. We needed this in order to get everyone desensitized to naked celebrity photos, and now we can all walk through life not giving a fuck about it.
Well, this wasn't even Batman that released all these nude photos.
Who was it?
It was the Joker.
Wait. The Joker is responsible for the fappening?
That's right. I'll rate your photo.
Boy, Joker really dried up the room.
Yeah. Travis, comment?
The second he said Batman, I knew what was going to be in your head. So bad.
Because he's not the hero, you know.
Yeah.
He's the Joker's more
of a... wow, that's
not her. That's not her.
The Joker's more of a villain than a hero.
Yeah. But there's also... There's other pictures. She was already so famous, but...
No, she wasn't famous. She wasn't famous until the fappening happened. But
it broke her.
There was another one. How come nobody's talking about the photos that came out last week? Nobody gives a shit.
Wait. Which photos came out last week?
There was about 60 photos released.
Adrian, look these up.
Of Yaphet Kotto, and he was opening his asshole at the camera. Where were those?
Nobody's talking about them.
No one's talking about them. But he had his fingers dug into his own asshole, and he was opening them at the camera.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In a moment of free-spirited laughter.
Is this what the 5 Buckaroos talk about?
No, we haven't even talked since then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Colin was promoting his Netflix special.
It's got to be rough.
Yeah.
It's got to be rough.
Yeah. Fucking Buckaroos.
Is that what he said? So stupid. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? You seen family? Do you have families?
Yeah, my family's in New York.
Yeah.
So I hang out with them.
Do you have an okay relationship with them?
Yeah. I mean, I have with the ones I'm going to see on Thanksgiving.
Right.
The other ones, not so much. But yeah, I have a small family, but we're close.
Do y'all talk politics? I would imagine that you're not a pleasant person to have Thanksgiving with because you talk politics a lot, and it's...
annoying.
You'd say, well, you have your opinions.
Unlikable.
Right.
Well, I haven't brought it up here yet. No, I don't. Like my sister's really into politics too, but we don't really talk.
She's
about
also
that
very
much.
like feminist liberal too, right?
Yeah, that'd
very
be a
on the
problem.
other side. Yeah, but we can we'll talk about it sometimes. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't like to we don't. That's not like what I spend the whole Thanksgiving doing.
Right.
I'm more fun than
They're
that,
Jews.
Sam.
They just count gold coins at the table.
That's cool.
You can't waste time on politics. You got these gold
Order
coins.
Chinese food. Yeah, they don't even have turkey. It's awful.
Do you have raisins in the stuffing?
Don't even bother with the answering.
Why? I hate that. Do you like your cranberry sauce to mix in with the mashed potatoes, or do you not? I don't like it. I like a separate thing for each.
Nobody cares.
Can't wait to go to I'll probably go to my sister's. The Nortons have very small portions of food.
Why?
I don't know. The Norton portions have always been rather small, unpleasant little portions.
Because they're shaped like birds.
Roberts give heaping helpings.
They sure do.
Oh yeah. The Roberts aren't shy.
Sam's mother's a great...
Sam's mother just throwing turkey and stuffing onto a fucking VHS. We need to get rid of these.
Yeah. We don't have room for the plates anymore.
His mother's cookies are the best.
Don't worry about the cookies.
They're good.
They're fine. And we should...
Is that a pussy joke?
No, she's a good baker. She makes...
Nobody's asking you about them.
Well, I'm saying it's not about her pussy.
No, I know that, but nobody's asking you to further on the cookies. They're like, okay, we'll accept that fact.
What his mother does with the cookies
Nobody's asked.
is that in each cookie, she puts one of her gray pubes. And it acts like a handle for the cookie, it's a gray pube that she tears out from the root, and she bakes into the cookie, and you can pick it up like that.
It sticks out the top.
Then you pick it up and you spin the cookie like a top, and you eat it.
Can I tell you something?
The cookie, and then the cookie smells like in between your toes.
Can I tell you something? My poor mother invited Jim to our Thanksgiving.
Exactly. She wants me to eat what they call a CHC.
What's a CHC?
It's a hair cookie.
Okay, that's not.
I don't want one.
I've never had that before at Thanksgiving. Do you do Thanksgiving, Lewis?
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to my my great aunt, and have Thanksgiving with the baby, or not the baby. He's 4 now. But
where's she live?
Up in Rockland County. If you guys are familiar with Levity Live.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Palisades.
I've middled there many times.
I used to work at the Palisades Center Mall in high school.
I think we've talked about this before.
On Hot Topic, yeah.
Yeah, you were not a great employee, right?
No, I'm terrible.
Right. I think I remember us talking
I'm
about
going to need Saturday off to go rob my dead neighbor's house and sell all his stuff.
I had this undying entrepreneurial spirit. What I would do is shoplift from the Hot Topic and sell it. Yeah. Oh, wow. What a business plan. What a thing about that.
I'm not even lying. We had a shoplifting ring. Me and my buddies in high school, where we would go to the mall and we would the guy who owned the pizzeria near me would give us orders to like go pick up fucking sneakers, golf clubs, different things from Model Sporting Goods, and we would just walk out with so much shit and sell it to this guy, and he would like hawk it to all.
I love when your son in 2 years is like, Dad, can I have a bike? And you're like, son, you go ransack the dead neighbor's house and get a bike yourself.
Yeah. You start a dead old lady furniture stand and sell it yourself.
They had thrown the stuff out. Okay, can we make this clear? We didn't go and like into the house and steal the stuff.
Travis used to work drive-through fast food and had an entrepreneurial spirit as well.
Did you really?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What'd you do in fast food?
I would maybe not ring up orders, but I memorized the prices in my head.
Same thing, of course. I worked at KFC.
You can't do that anymore.
If you're not doing that, you should be fucking fired. You are not a smart employee.
What, not taken from the register a little bit?
Yeah, I used to do the same 20, 30 bucks at a time. It's not a big deal.
So how does the scam work, Lewis?
Okay, so you're on drive-through, right? Like you're working there long enough, so you know exactly how much a 16-piece extra crispy with mashed potatoes and coleslaw costs, right?
So with tax and everything, you know what the total is. It's the popular meal.
I like how Lewis just rattled that off like he's still got a little bit of that information.
Oh, it doesn't leave you.
I loved working at KFC. I'll be honest with you. That was also another moment in my life that was like that really taught me about like hard work. I was sweeping the floor at my KFC, and the owner came in and he was like, "Who asked you to sweep?" Like very angry, and I was like, "Oh, nobody. I just saw there was stuff on the floor." And he was like, "That's a perfect attitude. That's what we need." And he gave me a 50-cent raise on the spot right there.
Wow.
Who's this boss like cocks a gun at you? Who told you to sweep? Well, that's why you get a 20.
Wow, that's the advantage of working at McDowell's.
He has his change belt like the old school train conductors. An extra 50 cents
and
in
he
your
handed
penny
you a
bucket.
coin and you bid it. You're like, "Aye, this looks good."
all right. No.
So you know how much the meals cost.
So you know how much the meals cost. So you say, all right, come up, $23.75, come up to the thing. You literally just have the register open from the previous thing. You just don't actually close the register all the way. Give them their change. You pocket the money. Simple as that.
And they don't count the food or anything, or
not to that level. It's not a fucking science, Sam.
Right.
I mean, they're missing 8 pieces of chicken. You think they're noticing that?
I don't know.
Use your brain.
Okay, all right.
No, I used to work at a store. It was like
use your brain. You can so fucking eat it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Use your fucking brain, bro.
Use your head for something other than a hat rack. As my father would say.
It's a great
my head
dad.
a hat rack. Be a help, not a hindrance.
That's what your dad would say?
Yes.
Were you more likely a help or more likely a hindrance?
I was always being a hindrance. Yes, I was. Travis, what food place do you work at?
I worked at Burger King.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Dave?
I don't know.
You used to do the same thing, stealing.
Oh yeah, steal. Yeah, but yes, if you don't log it into the register, you could take as much as you want.
Yeah.
And I got caught once by a customer who realized I didn't log it in.
How?
And just knew what I was doing.
Narc.
Yeah. But she goes, "Did you not enter that?" And I go, "Oh, I'm about to."
Did you end up?
And then I entered it. I was like, "Yeah."
Well, you have to in case they work for the
Right,
the
they could be
Consumer Board of Protection.
What if they're a smart shopper?
Yeah.
You know, those fucking undercover.
I used to nail my Smart Shopper tests because I could recognize the Smart Shopper.
How?
Because they weren't fans of the food. They would come up and then they would always order like a very specific type of thing. So they'd order like a 2-piece meal, whatever. And they have to order certain things. So they have to order the coleslaw because they have to test the temperature. They have to order the mashed potatoes because they have to test the temperature. But they would do it in a very particular way, like they were reading the order off a piece of paper. So it was a very specific way.
Do you ever get just like a regular customer ordering that and you're like, oh yeah, sure.
Well, they probably got good
potatoes.
service.
They got great service.
They got the best service.
The worst thing that could happen is you give a customer good service instead of normally like you fucking jerk off into their mashed potatoes.
I pretend I'm a Smart Shopper.
You do?
That's why I get good service. Like, I'll walk in there with a pen and I have a clipboard and I go, I'd like a Big Mac, please. I check the clipbourt.
With a French fries medium sized.
Yeah. Oh, I see. That's a smile. Thanks.
That's right. Thank you, Derek. I would like some French fried potatoes.
You pull out a thermometer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's behind your ear.
Yes.
So you're saying if somebody comes in and just goes like, I want a popcorn chicken and a Coke, you're like, that's not a Smart Shopper.
No way, because they can't.
That's going in my pocket.
They have to test the temperature of these certain things. So they literally, that's never a Smart Shopper. That guy, fuck you, buddy. You want a Coke, you throw it at his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Popcorn chicken? Of course you do, homo.
I love popcorn chicken.
It's the best, isn't it?
It's really good.
Maybe you could add that to your cheat meal after your big special.
No, I'm going to have some pizza.
You are?
Yeah. And some pizza.
Mike.
Some cake balls.
Cake balls?
Yeah.
What's a cake ball?
Oh, my God. It's where cakes go to dance. No, it's fucking...
Oh, you fucking asshole.
Well, that was a stupid question. They're a delicious little treat.
A cake ball?
Please.
Use your head, Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
You know what a cake ball is, Travis?
Yeah, cake pops. It's on with Starbucks.
Yeah.
Well, a cake pop is different than a cake ball.
No, cake balls are different. They're amazing.
Yeah,
they look like they're going to be
balls.
awful munchkins.
It's just on a stick. It's the same thing.
Well, maybe, yeah, but I'm saying that I've never
Why
had
don't
them
you
on
just
a
get
stick.
a fucking piece of cake?
And they're amazing.
Because it's a little less than a piece of cake. It's a small cake. Plus, you can hold it on a stick and wave it at your friends.
Yeah.
I've got cake.
Cake is not testicle shaped.
No, that's true.
Exactly. I like to put a couple of cake balls under my nose.
Yeah.
I put onions on the cake balls.
You're sitting there like, why are you eating this stick of this cake pop? That's not how it works. Mike in Jersey.
Hey, Sam. So, Jimmy, you remember Rickle in Jersey?
I do.
All right, so what we used to do is before inventory control. We used to basically call up the customers after they'd buy these rugs. And we'd be like, hey, how's everything going with the rug? And they'd be happy and, say, oh, everything's great. The coffee table, we're enjoying it. So then we would just write return slips and pocket the cash.
See, I had a guy, I worked at Sam Goody for a while.
Of course you did.
Yeah, nobody made that joke.
No, but I bet Sam at Sam Goody, right? They're probably, hey, this is your store.
That's what I was referencing, yes. But there was a guy, there was one kid in the whole store that was like a skate kid, And this was when like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was like the big video game and everything. And he ended up getting taken out of the mall in handcuffs because they realized there had been just a gross amount of returns over the course of not a lot of days, like 3 days or something. He couldn't have been lazier about it. And they started going through these return slips, and it was like Bucky Lasik, Tony Hawk, like it was all the most famous skateboarders in the world. That's how he had filled out the return
They were shopping
slips.
there?
No, Jim.
Oh.
And they were very easy.
He was just a dummy. The same way we would use our cats' names to sign up for Columbia House.
Right.
He would do his favorite skaters for return slips.
But like it's like there's only one kid who likes skateboarding, and
nobody else knew who Bucky Lasik was.
Yeah, and Tony Hawk didn't stop by the store last time I checked.
Yeah.
So all they had to do was open the drawer, and he got
Tony
fucking busted.
Peralta returned $30 worth. I used to go into the Models. This was just an old. If you want $80, you could do this to this day, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
You just go into the Models, grab a pair of rollerblades, bring it to the front, and say, "I'm returning this. I forgot my receipt."
And it worked?
Yeah. They would do that all the time. Or what you do is you find receipts in the parking lot, and then whatever's on the receipt in the parking lot, you go into the mall and bring it to the counter.
Dude, Lewis is a wizard at this stuff. Okay?
When I was like my mom gave me that idea. She's like, oh yeah, go to the supermarket, find a receipt on the ground, return some chicken, you'll make some money.
Dude, I never have the balls for any of this, but I'm just too neurotic and Jewish. Lewis is fucking on cop cars. But Lewis used to, when we first met, me and Lewis were like 20 or something like that, and we used to go, we were obsessed with MMA, and we used to go to the Virgin Mega Store to buy like Pride DVDs.
Sure.
UFC
Somebody
DVDs.
I don't remember whose joke it was, but it used to be a great one-liner joke. Is a stand-up. He goes, Virgin Mega Store, false advertising. Anyway.
That's mine.
That's an old Norton. I remember that. But we used to go in there, and Lewis had this scheme. It was pretty amazing, and he was so like dexterous that he could do it. But he would switch price tags. So he'd go get like a really cheap DVD's price tag, take it off, put it on the DVD we wanted, and we'd go get like a DVD for $3.
You got a My Little Pony DVD for $2, and then you get a $40 Pride box set.
So we got that My Little Pony DVD for only $2, and then we go back and watch it.
Yeah, because even if they scan it and it's a certain price, you're like, no, that price tag says $3. You can't. That's illegal.
And by the way, technically, the letter of the law is that if there's a price tag on something, they have to sell it to you for that price.
You know, we would do the best scam was when I worked in receiving in warehouses, and when boxes come, they like with stuff in them. They come with you packing peanuts. They're like those little fucking styrofoam peanut things that pack a box. So what I would do is I would steal the packing peanuts. I would tie off the bottom of my pants with rubber bands, and I would fill my trousers with packing peanuts. I'd go home with them.
And then you'd open up your trouser legs, and your dad would say, Jimmy, you're being a hindrance, not a help.
No, I would just save all the packing peanuts. So I always had them at my house.
Why would you need packing peanuts?
Just in case.
You really were a hindrance.
Yes, I was.
What a mess. What a mess.
Put them in my trousers.
We should take a break.
Yeah.
We've got Dave Smith and Louis J. Gomez here. Technically, they're on the Legion of Skanks podcast, but
not for long.
Yeah. Especially not after this beef that they were talking about with Big J, who would far prefer, he said, he would far prefer to do the bonfire than Legion of Skanks. So,
well, obviously.
Right.
You know.
Can you hear it in his voice that he's having a better time doing that show than the show with you guys?
Oh, he's like a kid in a candy shop.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, like Big J in a candy shop. It's the same type of joy.
That's a bummer. But you can still, for the time being, subscribe to Legion of Skanks, and you can get the Real Ass podcast, and you can get Part of the Problem. And
GasDigitalNetwork.com.
That's all on Gas Digital, right?
Everything's on GasDigitalNetwork.com. You get the shows 5 days before they come out on iTunes. You guys get the video version of the show, the archives beyond the past 10 episodes. We have a great chat room that goes while the shows are going live, so you can chat. There's a message board. Really great stuff. There's 11 shows on the network. We're growing constantly. We just added Bruce Buffer from the UFC ring announcer, plus Jamie Josta from Hatebreed. It's really a great network. If you use the promo code LOS, you get a 14-day free trial to see if you like the premium service.
Yes.
So try it out for free.
See if you like it, and you can follow Louis at Louis J. Gomez and Dave Smith at Comic Dave Smith. Jim Norton is going to be in Saratoga Springs on Friday and
Saturday. Then the week after is Hartford. And then the week after that is Doylestown, PA. And then I shoot my special, and I don't have to do stand-up for a little while.
And then after your special, it's pizza time.
Yeah, I'm going to go get some pizza. And then I'm going to go take a nice, I really want a couple of nice slices of Joe's Pizza on 6th Avenue.
That's what you're hoping for?
That's for me. That's every time I fucking binged on food.
Is that the one from Louis?
No, that's Ben's on the corner.
Oh, I love Ben's.
They're good, but they're a little too greasy for me. The one Joe's on the corner of 6th Avenue. Whenever I've had fucking food relapses where I'm bad for like a month, it's because stupid Colin, let's go to Joe's and get a slice. And we go to Joe's and we get a fucking slice, and I wind up eating 4. It's the fucking...
You can't have just one?
Dude, it's so... Do you like pizza?
Yeah, you ever been to Sal's in Mamaroneck?
No.
In fucking Westchester. It's the best pizza in New York State.
Yeah, just shut up.
I don't know if it is.
Don't bring any Westchester horse shit to the
last time I ate at a place called
Mamaroneck.
Do you remember Sal's? Fucking Sal's. I used to eat at all the time in Brooklyn, and then fucking Mookie threw a garbage can through the window, and the fucking place got burned down after stupid Radio Raheem got killed.
Rest in peace. You guys didn't know? You got it, Dave.
What, that reference?
Yeah.
Do the right thing? Yeah, I got that. I mean, yeah, do the right thing. Yeah, I got that.
All right, good.
Yeah, me too.
Of course.
No, you didn't.
I got it, dude.
Lewis wasn't even sort of there with
head,
you.
Sam, do you see my face?
Lewis was looking at you like, oh yeah, I think I've had pizza there before. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Such a phony. All you had to do was write Lewis. I'd be like, yeah, 100%.
Oh man, that was a great pizza place. Sounds terrible that the window got broken.
Yeah, but fucking pepperoni kicked ass though.
Loved Radio Raheem.
I would love a nice piece of pepperoni pizza.
Here's what you do, Jim. Over the weekend, come down to Westchester. Come up to Westchester.
No.
We'll go to Mamaroneck.
No.
We'll go to Sal's.
I'll take a greasy pepperoni pizza shit after.
You will?
Whoa.
I mean, the one that always wins best in the country is in Connecticut.
Yeah, Pepe's. I want to go there once.
You've never been there?
No.
No, there's 2 of them. If you ever do...
Bro, there's one in Yonkers. Westchester.
Oh, they have a Frank Pepe's?
Yeah.
Fine, I'll give it to him. Solid pizza.
But by the way,
They have
Sal's
one
is
in,
better.
you ever do the casino, Mohegan Sun?
I have.
They have one inside of there now.
I don't know if I
really?
trust that as much as the
No, it's phenomenal. They have they brought in the huge the oven.
What's the club? What's the club that we do by the other one? The
Comics. It's comics.
No. But
I like Ilio's. You ever eat Ilio's pizza?
It's really good too.
Yeah.
No, those are good too. You get the 3 slices in one. It's super.
But they
good.
have these huge ovens that are like literally 30 feet deep, and the the things that they pick up the pizzas with are these huge long poles. It's crazy, dude.
I know that there's this place in Times Square called Sbarro.
Oh yeah,
awesome!
These big ovens.
Oven depth is a big thing.
It's like
for me.
my New York pizza spot.
Whenever I'm eating pizza, my first question is, "What's your oven depth?" I'd like that in metric measurement, please. The oven depth.
What's this cubic square footage of your oven?
Yeah, nobody cared about that. That hasn't been talked about since 1942 in Germany.
Since Agent 12 was on the air.
No, I'm going to need a really deep oven.
Yeah.
You're making a lot of pizzas, huh? Yeah. A lot of pizzas.
Yeah. I plan on being very successful. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the 2 of the 3 Legion of Skanks guys right after this.
Sure.
Okay, it's Thanksgiving. Understood.
Adrian, calm down.
Yeah,
Adrian is still wearing the turkey suit. As a matter of fact, during the break, like there's a headgear that comes with it, you know. And I guess Adrian thought since nobody had acknowledged it in an hour and a half, he could bring he could bring the headgear down a little bit. And during the commercial, I went, Adrian, head thing. Okay.
Scout position.
I realized how much that looks like a clit, like the headpiece.
Yeah,
that's right. Big and yellow.
He'll be wearing that in the office, building the best ofs today too. I mean, that's a full day's outfit.
Yeah.
For Adrian. Speaking of best ofs, we're gonna have best of shows tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday.
Right.
Some of the stuff that we've done over the last month and a half on this show, as well as podcasts that we did when we were out in LA. So over the next few days, you'll hear the podcast we did with Bert Kreischer. The podcast
Love
we
Bert.
did, yeah, that was a real fun one.
He's the best.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love that guy.
That
So
guy
you guys
was the machine or something. He had some sort of a nickname, I believe.
But we're doing, that's right. The Greg Fitzsimmons show that we did.
I hate him.
You
You like Greg?
I'm kidding.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast that we did, which
And,
I had to use some of my connections to pull that one off.
I like that you guys are already at the point where you're doing best of episodes.
Well, what are we going to do?
Same 10-minute clip over and over.
I also love how radio guys have to go do podcast tours now. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Like that. It's like flip-flopped where it was like podcast guys were always trying to get on radio, and now there's these huge podcasts that are legitimate tools for promotion.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. And we have to, by the way, follow our Twitter too, because we are trying to rebuild. We started from scratch with our Twitter.
Yeah.
So we want to get followers. So if you want to follow, what is it, Jim and Sam Show on Twitter?
Jim and Sam Show is on Twitter, and we also just launched the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes, which is Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Yeah, we wanted to start fresh.
Yes.
From scratch.
Yes, which is the way you should do it if you're starting a new show.
Of course.
Of course. It's the way to do it with integrity. We're going to have
You hear that, Big J?
Bruce Campbell, Morgan Spurlock, Willem Dafoe.
When are they coming in?
On the best of. We already had all those people in, as well as Ken Bone and Nancy Grace.
And that guy from Quantum Leap.
And maybe we'll hear the interview that Jim doesn't remember ever happening. Yeah. Is he coming in soon? I love that show. Man, oh man. So
I didn't love the show.
Quantum Leap?
Yeah.
No. Sorry to hear
the fucking sofa delivered today, and these fucking shitbags didn't call me.
Yeah, well, Lewis sold it already, so what are you going to do? He found it, he sold it.
No, he didn't. It's a different sofa.
That's a good point, Jim. I'm glad you brought us back to reality with that one.
I'm just being cute. Yeah. There we are. Happy Thanksgiving.
You guys all happy for Dave Chappelle getting his three picture deal with Netflix?
I think it's great.
It's great for Netflix.
Yeah, it's great for Netflix. It's terrible for any other comedian who's trying to get a deal with Netflix because they spent $40 billion on Dave Chappelle.
He's doing three stand-up specials.
No, he's doing one. There's 2 of them have already been shot. They're unreleased ones. He's shooting one with Stan Latham directing, who did Def Jam, I think.
That's amazing. He did 2 stand-up specials and just sat on them?
I don't know. They might just be old ones that were recorded. But Chris Rock,
great, dude. Dude, his opening for SNL was phenomenal.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Chris Rock's got a 2 thing deal too. No, it's actually good for comics, even though they're spending a lot of money. But the fact is, the stand-up is being so successful. Stand-up is much cheaper to shoot than shows.
Yeah, it's true.
Even though you're paying a lot for Dave and for Chris, other stand-up specials, I mean, it's just you and a fucking microphone and maybe a little set. It's a lot cheaper than fucking original programming that they have to build a script.
That's a really good point. They have cartoons on Netflix that they're producing that's super expensive.
Dude, this is the ultimate like legitimizing of internet specials now, because now it's like these two comedy gods are not doing HBO or Comedy Central, they're doing this, and it's it reminds me of like Obama doing Maron's podcast. You're like, well, that just makes podcasts official now.
Absolutely.
And I think overall that's good for comedy.
It may be fair. It's like, how can I not get Ben Affleck, but Maron could get Obama? I feel like Legion of Skanks to What the Fuck is kind of like Ben Affleck to Obama in terms of fame levels.
That's what you think?
In actual reality, it's Bert Kreischer. That's who we can get.
Yeah, no, you're right about getting where you should be getting. That's no, you're right on. Don't worry about it. I got good news for you, Lewis. You don't need to be concerned about that.
I saw Bert. I said, "Put your shirt on. What are you doing?"
It's good. Good addition.
Put your shirt on.
No, I get it. Because he's shirtless so much. By the way, the 3 stand-up specials are going to be released on the same day.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there are 2 previously released ones or if they're ones that haven't been released before.
I don't think they've been released, but they've already been filmed.
That's unprecedented.
Unreleased.
I mean, no one's ever at Chappelle's level of comedy released 3 specials at once.
Everything Chappelle does though is like long. Like he's the one guy who's like, no, we're gonna do long. Like when he's at the Comedy Cellar, he's like 8 hours of comedy. When they're like, we're not releasing one special, all 3 in one day, and you can binge Dave Chappelle comedy specials. They're not gonna get tired of me. It's amazing.
But all those people who complain about it or whatever, they'll be like, oh, you're like listening to him order coffee or smoke a cigarette. It's like, okay, but then after that, you're going to hear like one of the best jokes you've ever heard.
It's undeniable. I mean, even watching what he does now, like, I've watched him at clubs throughout the past few years. He's kind of been out of the spotlight. You watch him at the Comedy Cellar do a 3 or 4 hour set. I mean, you're watching when he's telling jokes, it's the most brilliant comic in the world. There's some downtime there where he maybe just be shooting the shit with the crowd, but it's actually it's a very special thing. So there's no point. The audience stays. It's not like half the audience is gone by the time his 3 hour set is up. They stay, and it's because they're being entertained. This is New York. We're very savvy people. We don't really give a fuck about celebrity. Celebrities can walk down the street in New York City and not be mobbed.
That's like you, Jim, right?
No, I just wanted to address that this New York, we're very savvy people.
That's okay, Lewis. You can let him go. We're out of time.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thanks so much for having us, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We know you people have a lot of choices. You're obviously very savvy individuals.
Be like us
savvy people.
I fucking hate myself.
Be like us New Yorkers.
Traffic right now.
Make savvy choices out there, will you?
Yeah, we sure are savvy. We're a savvy lot. Us New York.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Yeah, we got to.
God damn it.